Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to one of two grand finals for the July monthlies for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. One of these two players will be your champion for the July monthlies and will secure their spot for the main event, the Redbull Wololo Legacy in Castle Heidelberg, Germany. In the north corner of the map in blue is Wam, playing as the French. And in the southeast corner of the map in red, playing as the Chinese, representing Team Liquid, is Demuslim. High stakes with this matchup. It's a best of 7. This first game is played on dry Arabia. Two interesting civilizations. We've got the French being picked by Wam, notoriously known, the French, for their feudal age aggression and castle age aggression. They do tend to tail off in the Imperial Age and the late game. And that's where the Chinese actually shine. So will we see Demuslim try to force this game into the super late game, which is where the Chinese thrive and could perhaps outskill and outmaneuver the French? We shall see how this pans out. We could be in for a late one, especially if Demuslim decides to play the late game with the Chinese, which is where they're the strongest. They'll need to fend off a lot of aggression, though, from the French. As we see, the School of Cavalry there going down very fast there for Wam. We'll be pumping out some of those Royal Knights and looking to harass these villagers, no doubt, on the barriers. But we shall see how Demuslim adapts with that. Will he decide to wall up? And he's got a couple of villagers on goal there, 3. Will he look to go for a Barbican of the Sun, perhaps to protect his eco? Or perhaps the Imperial Academy and look to get a Song Dynasty? There's lots of options for the Chinese, one of the most adaptable civilizations in Age of Empires 4. And it remains to be seen. He hasn't kind of explained or shown his hand yet, just as to what he will do. Could be going for stone if he's going for a second town centre. Now the French do have the faster working town centre. That'll certainly help keep up the villager count, especially if Demuslim playing as a Chinese does go for the Song Dynasty. Now we do see now some walls here going on the west side of that base, looking to protect the berries and the sheep. There's a lot of sheep gathered here, has to be said, guys. There's a lot of sheep. That is in total 10 sheep versus the French having, let's just double check. How much? 3. Only 3 there. That's quite a big difference. There might be some sheep already on the map being gathered by the French scouts. But that is a big differential. And of course, as we know, the French are very much dependent on that food economy with the sheep. A village being built here by Demuslim will offer him some protection, can garrison up to 10 villages in there. And of course, it's a lot more cost effective housing-wise. But villagers here on the gold being harassed somewhat. Not ideal. And it can be very frustrating, but there's a villager there around about half health. Might need to be pulled back, but the scouts actually come into play here for Demuslim, pushing the 2 scouts from the French back. Okay, French will be almost getting up to the next stage. Has already got up to the next stage, rather, and has actually queued up some knights, and those knights will be sent right farther forward, looking to try and deny those walls if he can. The scouts have been aware of that situation. Demuslim getting the early walls, though, within almost 5 minutes now. Almost walled up on this west side. It does leave the east side relatively exposed. This gold could be an issue. But having this security will be a nice bit of real estate for Demuslim to build out into as the game wears on. Demuslim now does get to the feudal age, goes up with the Imperial Academy. Will be able to produce those Imperial officials from that landmark. It looks like Wam is going on stone, looking to get that second town centre. And I like this play. Recognizes that the Chinese are playing defensive, and so he himself is looking to get that second town centre. Each town centre will be running faster, and that means the villager count should start to really pick up for Wam. 2 scouts here for Demuslim looking to protect that gold line, and is actually going to be building walls, so extensive walling here for Demuslim, looking to actually secure his position in his base and play the late game. And I suspect that's probably the way to play this matchup. French Knight's going to try and dive in, maybe look at to take out one villager. A lot of walling has been done. There's a charge attack, maybe another hit, and there it goes. There's that villager dying. And the first blood has been drawn by the French Royal Knight. And despite all the walling, Demuslim does lose a villager. Let's take a look at the villager count now. 29 population, that's 25 villagers for Wam, 23 for Demuslim. Of course, the French working faster with their town centre to produce those villagers. Right, so I'm just running around where I'm going to be a bit of a nuisance, it seems. Just harassing those villagers on the berries and on the sheep. Okay. Do you see that second town centre being placed now on the deer? Close by to the woodline. It's a nice spot there. And it'd be interesting. I suspect the Muslim will be aware of this because, of course, when you don't see the French being aggressive, it can only really mean one thing, and that's the second town centre expansion. Barbican and the Sun looking to be put down by 5 villagers. One of them is weak, so if Wam's paying attention, he might be able to snipe one, but this knight is very, very low in health. Will we see an archer range follow up here for the French? Okay, looks like the Muslim is going to get that Song Dynasty relatively soon, and is going to be building a mining camp to get some stone for that second town centre to try and even out the villager count, which will be actually slowly widening now. 27 villagers for the Muslim, 29 for Wam. You're a bit surprised that it's not more than that. This town centre hasn't gone up just yet, only building with 4 villagers, so we'll take some time. Of course, the Chinese villagers build faster as well, so that Barbican Son of the Sun goes up. Song Dynasty activated. Okay, let's take a look at the relic positions now. One very nicely evenly spread there on the west side of the map, and on the center, 2 of them are. And there's one very nice spot here for Wam, and one here in a very nice spot for Demuslim. So relatively equally spaced out, nicely shared between the 2 players. 2 scouts going forward now for Demuslim. Now that is pretty much walled up and well protected. He feels he can go forward to see what's happening here. The villagers are still being forced at some idle time. It's unfortunate that Demuslim doesn't have a wall here going from the north woodline to the town centre or to the Barbican. But it is what it is, and he's going to look to preserve that wood. Maybe for a rainy day. Does have barracks on the field, of course, looking to get some spearmen. Does have one on that woodline just now. Scouts. For Demuslim now being annoying at the villagers there on the gold line. It'd be interesting to see where Demuslim decides to place his second town centre. Almost has enough stone for that second town centre. Just needs one more drop off. We'll have. He's already got plenty there. 400 stone there. Could look even to. Yeah, he's going to go for a defensive one, quite close to his home base. Makes sense. Be producing lots of villagers and be able to go to gold there very nicely. The second town centre will be building very, very fast with 8 villagers. Let's take a look at the villagers. 40 for Wam, 33 for Demuslim. So quite a big gap there. But now, with the Song Dynasty and the 2 town centres, that gap won't be as big as it could have been. Central wall position. It'll be interesting to see if either player goes for that. Spearman driving the scout away. And now you get the feeling that things are going to just settle down somewhat. Bit of an engagement there. 1 spearman, not going to be enough. All villagers going out to the berries. Does get noticed by the 2 scouts there for Demuslim. That won't be enough to push them away, but it's a bit of an issue. Villagers there being idle for Wam. Wam will need to move those pretty quickly, and he does do exactly that. Where will he go? Looks like he's going to go for the berries. It's an interesting choice here, going for the forward berries first. He was with these villagers. Looking to just try and get that early, nice and early, those resources. Going to get a horseman to try and drive away these 2 scouts. At this point, the game is going to be relatively passive now. Things have been pacified by these walls here for Demuslim. And of course we are in for a best of 7, so a long time to go. This first game will just be the beginning of what I suspect will be a fantastic series. There's going to be a granary dropped here for the Chinese. Fantastic economy building where villagers can drop off food, and it improves the farm gather rate of nearby villages by 10%, and it stacks with other granaries, so it's really important to consider that. Don't forget as well, the granaries generate gold in the form of tax each time resource is dropped off. Knight there trying to run around, trying to get some villager snipes. It's causing a bit of harassment there. 54 villagers for Wam. 49 for the Muslim. The charge attack gets off, doesn't take out the villager though. Needs to back off, then the spearmen are on the chase. Looks like Wam is looking to get to the castle age relatively soon. Has a very strong economy. Has dropped down the Royal Institute, which is an interesting landmark to go up with. It's very commonly used now at the pro level scene. It's especially because its technologies allow its French civilization to have its Imperial Age upgrades for 30% cheaper. Now, it could have gone up with the guild hall, and this could be an interesting one. I suspect now, really with this choice of landmark, it means that Wam is kind of on a timer, going up against the Chinese. Chinese incredibly strong in the late game. This is going to force the issue, or going to try to force the issue, Wam is, to try and finish this game in the Castle Age before the Chinese power back in Imperial Age. Going with the Royal Institute, foregoing the benefits of the guild hall, which is a fantastic landmark for late game for the French. Going to be getting up those Imperial Age upgrades with the Royal Bloodlines, I suspect. Maybe as well the one for the Arbaletier. Often Knight Arbaletier is a very strong army composition for the French, and we shall see if that's what Wam decides to do. Now we see the walls here going up for Demuslim. He knows that his opponent's in Castle Age. He will not want to take a fight just yet until he's up to the Castle Age himself. He's quite well off it, but he will have a strong economy behind this. 65 villages for Wam, 58 for Demuslim. This is where the French really excel, going for the pocket ecos, going for that boar. But the horsemen and the spears are there on hand to try and deny that. The outpost will go down. There's no emplacements there, arrow slits. Nothing garrisoned as well. The number of spearmen are such that Wam can't take a fight here. At least not once not until the upgrades are coming in. And there is the veterancy for the knights. And we'll be seeing Royal Bloodlines coming in now as well. Don't actually see the Royal Bloodlines. Hasn't clicked it just yet. Can't afford it. Struggling on the food count. He is being starting to push now with the spearmen and the horsemen. We'll see how much damage can be done. Now army will be pushed back. There's a lot of spearmen there. A couple of arbaletier coming out. We'll be able to try and kite some of the units, but not quite enough just yet. Spearmen going to push off the villages on the berries there for the French. Wham. Now has to back off. Knights are diving in. They're going to get a couple of charge attacks. We'll be taking out some of the spears that are a bit stray. Good micro here. Going to be taking out some of those. And then backs off once the main army regroups. Nice play there by Wham. We see the micro level here for the top level players. They're going to now push off the villagers off the berries. The Muslim getting a lot of idle time out of this. Caused for Wham. Look down to siege down that mill. And now Wham knows that the army is there forward. Going to try and do a counter attack. Which is certainly the right move. Of course, the spearmen will have to play catch up to try and chase up to that. But the issue is, Demuslim has walled himself up completely, left himself very, very safe. That is a very important consideration as the knights do start to charge in. They're being healed by chivalry, but they won't be able to get too much damage or value until they break through those palisades. Arbaletier are defending here. There is the Royal Bloodlines coming in. We're interested to see if he does go for the Gambesons, which increases the Arbaletier armor by +5. Quite a few Arbaletier on the field now, up to 9. Sending some villagers forward again. There's quite a lot of villagers. I suspect that's going to be a keep, and it is indeed a keep going on this west side. Going to be denying a lot of resources here, a lot of deer, a lot of berries, gold, you name it. A lot's being denied, and it acts as an entry point to the base. This is the aggression that we've been thinking that's going to come in for the French, is the aggression that's needed for the French. Because of course, as long as this game goes on, that late game is looking perilous for the French, especially at the hands of the Chinese. So I hope you guys are enjoying this casted game and this casted series for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy July Finals. Of course, a long way to go yet. So buckle yourselves in. Palisades going on the right side there for Wham, looking to try and protect his economy. Protecting himself from counter raids. Keep will be going up. I wonder if Demuslim sees that. I suspect he probably doesn't. He doesn't indeed see that at all. He has no idea that's happening. The knights are going to charge in now, trying to take out some of the palisades. The spears and horsemen will react, get in position, but the keeper's there. Oh, lots of spearmen out of position though. The arbaletier are going to try and kite them. They'll try and chase them. Going to walk into the keep now. In fact, Wham's going to take these 14 villagers, or 13 villagers, and actually gather food from the deer. Now the issue is that Demuslim doesn't have a ranged unit here, and it means that Wham could potentially kite his way, killing units off if he can get that range advantage. We shall see if that's what he decides to do. Not getting any upgrades for the keep just yet. Oh, villagers going forward here, 25 of them. Demuslim, where is he going with those villagers? Mass migration here. They're all exiting. Suspect they're going for stone, maybe to get a keep of his own. It does indeed seem to be the play. Yeah, going for the stone. The knights are going to break in with the obliterate in behind. A couple of barracks there alongside the castle. That castle doesn't actually boost or make the barracks units cheaper. It does indeed do that for the stable and the archer ranges though. There's that new age for Demuslim. Demuslim gets up to the castle age, of course, with the astronomical clock tower. There's a lot of farming economy. Look at that, 3 granaries. This happened in a blink of an eye. That is a lot of farming economy, ladies and gentlemen. That food income is going to be pretty crazy for the Chinese. You can take a look there. Almost 2,000 food per minute. And producing horsemen and spearmen to defend himself. He's got lots of army and defense here. Let's take a look at the military numbers. Because indeed, 44 for Demuslim, 43 for Wam, relatively even as things goes. The knights are going to try and dive in, but there's too many spearmen there. He's not going to be able to take a great fight. They can take a relatively good trade, especially having royal bloodlines. But it just won't be enough. There's so many units here. Bloomery coming in for Demuslim as well to increase the ability for those melee attacks. Trebuchets coming out. Count as a clock tower trebuchet. And a defensive keep going to be put down for Demuslim. Will that go up? Looks like Wham's going to try and push that issue. You'll notice the villagers now. Going to charge in. Going to delay that keep. And we can see now the arbitrator looking to try and get some damage on the spearmen. Will he manage it? The knights charge in. It's a big fight here. This could be a big decisive fight. Villagers rushing forward to get a keep as well. Trebuchet firing off on that French keep. And the arbitrator trying to get some damage on the spearmen. There just seems to be too much army here for Demuslim. Wam needs to be careful. He's going to try and take out as many spearmen as he can before engaging with the knights. And don't forget the arbitrator are pretty tanky now with the Gambesons in. I believe Gambesons in. But the knights are sweeping in. They're going to take out the spearmen. And the numbers are really dwindling for Demuslim. The tower, the keep does go up now. Wam has got a massive military advantage. There's still a lot of spearmen on the field though. Won't want to take a direct head-on engagement. The arbitrator still getting value here. The knights are going to sweep this up. The royal bloodlines coming in clutch here. This is the power of the Royal Institute. This is the power of the French and the Castle Age. Trebuchet goes down. And Wam now can have free reign into the base. Try and get some damage. There's about 4 knights. We'll be able to do some damage. If he can get some micro potential here, kill off some villagers, that could be useful. But instead he probably needs to focus on his macro, because at the moment he's got a bit of gold there that he could spend. He's spending his resources incredibly well, that has to be said. The Muslim, on the other hand, has enough resources to go to the Imperial Age. Look at that food and gold account. That eco is incredible. The granary farming is so powerful for the Chinese. The knights getting good value though. Picking off villagers left, right and centre, and we should see the villager count being a bit of a difference here. 108 for Demuslim, 101 for Wam, so in fact Demuslim does pull ahead. Let's go for a lot of villagers there on the stone. And there's a lot of villagers, guys. 25 villagers on that stone pile, and that's huge. That can afford almost 2 keeps because of that. That stone will come into a lot of good play for Demuslim. I can feel it. The spearmen do clean up those knights now. Wam needs to have another approach of attack. Just get the feeling this is a very good defense for Demuslim. That defense has been very key because this opens a way and a window for Demuslim to try and keep this game as late as possible. And that's where the Chinese shine. There are 2 trebuchets firing off for the French there on that Chinese keep, but the keep for Wam might go down there on the front lines. He's been very aggressive there with the siege workshop as well. I'm not sure why these buildings are actually around the keep. It doesn't help him in terms of cheapness, but yeah, it is what it is. It's still underneath the keep, so we won't be able to be dived to these buildings. But that keep will be going down relatively soon because of the trebuchet that's there. Clock tower trebuchet doing great work. Villagers repairing this keep, obviously using that mammoth amount of stone. Look at the amount of stone that the Muslim has. It's got so much stone. 25 villagers there. And the military number still looking strong for the Muslim. Has that defender's advantage. 58 military for Wam, 35 for the Muslim. And now that keep's gone down. The Muslim's actually going forward, but I'm not sure he has enough. 2 Springles looking to get some damage, but the Palisade Walls, such a cheap investment, but it's done so much work in this mid to late game. Now we see the villagers going for another stone pile. And there's so much stone being gathered here. Of course, the keep now needing stone to be repaired. But the Muslim will need to deal with these trebuchets because they need to be taken out. Doesn't have an infinite amount of stone there. Looks like Wam's looking to get some relics here, using the monks to do so. It doesn't appear that Demuslim has a monastery, so it's going to have those relics uncontested. But look at the farming economy. That is huge. I think that is going to be such an important part of this game. 1,600 food per minute. And the military number is going to slowly start to build in, slowly but surely, with 3 trebuchets. As you can see, Demuslim delaying this game as much as it can with those villagers on repair and villagers on stone. 2 sacred sites looking to be taken there on the right and on the left for Wam. That gold passive income will certainly help his cause. But as we see the game go into the 22nd minute, villagers are huge. 123 to 112. You can see both players almost reaching population cap at 200 population. And this is where the fights start to really play a big role in this game, and the micro battles and just the decision making in terms of army composition afterwards. We have got horsemen versus spearmen, horsemen spearmen versus spearmen arbaletier, and a couple of knights mixed in there for the French. But the trebuchets are going to be sniped there by the horsemen. A big fight here, a lot of action going on. There's a couple of monks there healing up some of the knights as well. You get the feeling that the trebuchets are going to be taken down, and the Muslim will be able to push this back because he's getting good victories here on the right side. The spearman on spearman action, and but there's still lots of arbaletier there, lots of army there on the field for the French. You get the feeling now actually there's lots of production being made here. The arbaletier getting good value in behind those lines, but the front line is almost done here for Wam. Getting a charge attack with the knights against the spearman. The spearman retreat back to that safety of the keep, which is actually almost at full health, despite 2 trebuchets still firing, and Demuslim has not been able to find an answer for those 2 trebuchets just yet. They got rid of one of them, there were 3, but Demuslim does need to do something about this. And in fact, Demuslim going forward with a forward keep with 24 villagers, 23 villagers. 2 knights are not going to cut it. That keep is definitely going up, and it's going to idle a lot of the economy. The economy for Wam here on the farming needs to be moved back. 3 sacred sites have been captured though, and this keep is going to offer a really good staging ground for Demuslim to push back from, as long as he can destroy this forward base. Has got rid of the keep. The keep is still in play here by Demuslim. Demuslim looking strong here. Despite this early aggression, this keep means that reinforcements are going to be difficult to come in there. They cannot get close to the keep. Central sacred site has been decapped there by Demuslim. Still an open game here, could go either way. We see lots of stables here coming for the Chinese, played by Demuslim. Could be a horseman rush. Could imagine even a landmark snipe, probably not. Doesn't have, it's not that kind of situation and not that stage of the game just yet. It does set himself quite nicely with those stables, with the mobility at least. Trebuchet behind that keep. Still 2 trebuchets firing off. All villagers there on stone being harassed by the arbaletier. I think Demuslim doesn't mind just yet. He's just desperate to keep as much stone as he possibly can. He needs to keep this keep alive if he can. This keep is on fire. Looks like Demuslim has now given it up. That keep has done a lot of work, has had a lot of repairs. I'm afraid it's been too old. It's been crumbling for too long, and it crumbles to the ground. This is certainly the big focus for the tension here on the west side. Army starting to build up again. Demuslim at 158 population, 114 villagers. Wam at 126 and 191 population there. Population looking a lot healthier for Wam. Could that be an indication as to where this game is heading? 25 minutes into the game. I certainly think this is going to go to the late game now in this position, especially with the Chinese ability to defend, and more importantly, the Muslims' ability to defend. All this eco here has been buzzing away for such a long time. Now the central sacred site has been taken again by Wam. So Wam will be having a lot of gold generation here. 3 sacred sites, that's 300 gold per minute. And we'll need to relocate his monastery because he does have some relics, I'm sure. Does have indeed 3 relics there. Now this forward keep does push the trebuchets to be made at home for Wam. Does have some siege workshops there, 2 of them. Now is going to start to take this keep. There's no villagers on hand to repair. This is bought Demuslim some time, that's for sure. And the big fight on the west, the horsemen, the lancers, the spearmen ride in, and this is a big fight for Demuslim. Demuslim has saved up his military, and he's going to take this fight. He's going to win this fight, and this is a huge deal because now Wam is going to lack on military. 29 military for Wam, 54 for Demuslim. This is a big pushback. You just get the feeling that Chinese economy is really flowing here in full force, and this means that it's almost like this is going to snowball out of control here with Demuslim with a strong pushback. Now can push the fight forward on the front lines. He's going to knock at the door of the French. And just get the feeling the French are going to be under a lot of pressure here. Wam needs to buy himself some time. Only 34 military versus 61. Double the military. This is going to become a problem for Wam unless it does something fast. Does have 3 sacred sites. Again, the Muslim just absolutely eating up all the stone he can on the field. Now, this is where the issue is. There's no guild hall for Wam. Doesn't have that passive resource generation that you could choose from. One trebuchet might go down to 2 lancers, but we shall see. That trebuchet will go down, it seems. 2 trebuchets left, but it feels like these trebuchets will be going down as well, with the lancers getting a surround on one of them and be poking the other one to death as well. And that's a big loss for Wam. There are no keeps there on the front lines, but these trebuchets don't come cheaply. Lancers going to harass the wood line as well. Wam struggling here. Wam down to 175 population. Demuslim has caught him up on that front. There's still one more trebuchet there. And very little health. Stone walls from Wam. Looking to get those stone walls and protection in. But that gets denied by the horsemen. Horsemen getting some great value. The knights are going to start to sweep in though. Try and get some of those horsemen out of the way. But the walls are denied there. Stone palisade walls on the right. Stone walls on the left. Wam needs to buy himself some time. And he's going to do that with some passive and some static defenses in the form of the stone walls and palisade walls. But look at the food and gold there for Demuslim. You get the feeling that Demuslim should be eyeing up Imperial Age anytime soon. I think he's just clicked that magic button. We shall see what it goes up with. Maybe the Spirit Way of Great is the Great War Great House. That's in a very forward position. Now this landmark can now get emplacements, so we might be able to see emplacements in this. Be a nice staging ground for an attack. Keep going down there on the left. Going to look to try and deny those stone walls. Spearmen on hand. Spearman versus Spearman here. Get the feeling that Demuslim is going to take the better fight there. There's the Imperial Age for Demuslim. Wam, nowhere near the Imperial Age in terms of the food count. That is a problem. There's certainly a problem. Walls going there on the right side for Demuslim. Looks like the walls might go up in time, but the Spearmen are chasing here. And even if the walls do go up, there is a trebuchet behind that keep. That's starting to... Oh, there's another keep going. Aha. I know, that was the first one. It's still just taking its time to build. Villagers here going to decap that sacred site on the right. Control of this gold here for Wam with that keep. In a nice spot there. And that stone pile is all but gone for Demuslim. Really looking to get those keep positions. Yeah, the knights are going to try and snipe down them. Springall doesn't quite manage it. Has to back off. There is a keep there now on that gold there on the left. There is the dong for the Imperial Age for Wam. Be interesting to see what it goes for, whether it's the College of Artillery or if it is indeed the Red Palace. I suspect we'll see the College of Artillery, but we just need to locate where that landmark has been placed. Now looking to get those stone walls up. Remains to be seen if that ends up going up or not. Not sure what's happened to the Imperial Age for Wam. It's almost as if he's deleted it. It's not progressing. There doesn't seem to be any villagers. That's why we can't find it. You can see on the middle there. It's a little bit awkward. Wam now does start to have villagers building. And there it is on the west side. It is the College of Artillery. An interesting landmark for the French is a landmark which produces the Royal Cannon, Rebaldequin and Culverin. And where the Royal Artillery siege engines, they do 20% more damage. This is of course in contrast to the clock tower, the astronomical clock tower, which means that these siege engines have 50% health. Extra, of course. Elite horsemen looking to go down on the left side. There is still a gap there on the left side. On the right side, just the palisades in defense. Ooh, keep here went on the west. Pretty exposed though for Wam. Looking to try and extract as much gold as can. Those villages will probably go down if he's not careful. Needs to pay attention. There is the Imperial Age there for Wam, so we'll be able to match like with like in terms of tech. And this village is going to go down. There's no doubt about that, especially with that trebuchet. Well, the trebuchet is taking down that keep. Villagers will be dying. That'll be a lot of lost villages for Wam. 134 and dropping. Versus the 130 for Demuslim. Of course, Demuslim is population cap though. Actually, is he? Yeah, he is indeed. 70 military on the field. That's going on the right side. There's a keep there for the French. So quite a lot of control here on the right side for Wam, has to be said. Looking to get stone walls of his own on the right side. "31 minutes on the clock. Game is certainly going to the late game, and you fear for the French here. Wam is going to need something special to be able to defeat the Chinese. Especially with the economy. This economy with the granaries has been so strong. There's quite a lot of farming economy here on the right side as well. And the economy for the Chinese has been untouched for quite a long time, and that is a big problem. And boiling oil will be coming on this keep on the left side. There is a trebuchet behind that keep as well. Constantly firing off. Looks like the central sacred site will be decapped. Difficult to call which direction this game is going to head. These walls are not quite constructed yet, the stone walls. Making his way there though. Oh, okay. Yep, decamps that central sacred site. Keep here is not enough there. Spearwood has better range than the keep. Oh, wow, these horsemen cycled through. I'm not sure which direction they came from. Probably the right side. And they're going to get a lot of villagers here. Villagers are really lacking for Wam now. 124. Actually, I take that back. They're not lacking. He's certainly producing them very fast. Is that open? I'm not entirely sure how they got in. I believe it's through the wood line there. There's certainly an overchop. Horsemen have been split into two groups. Well, there's a lot of villagers there for the taking. If only Demuslim would see that. Knights are going to catch on though. These are elite royal knights as well. And the horsemen on the right side have been taken care of. But there is the flood of spearmen now through the gates here on the west. This is just completely open. Not sure if Wam realizes that. That is a huge problem. He has created 2 choke points. Unfortunately, his army is chasing army in his base. Springald just constantly firing at this keep. And hand cannoneers is the play for Demuslim. Demuslim looking in a strong position. If he can get into a composition of hand cannoneers and horsemen, that would be incredibly powerful. And you see quite a lot of French army here just kind of hiding, kind of waiting in this choke point. We shall see if they get any value. This does seem to be the position where Demuslim can put some pressure on. And in the north, horsemen still getting some raiding action. That's not ideal for Wam. Population dipping down to less than 100 villagers. And the raiding doing a lot of damage here. This keep might even go down to just simple horsemen. The horsemen do pull away though. On the west side, villagers on gold do get sniped. The French army is pushing back. There's a lot going on here. A couple of horsemen still there on the west side. Horsemen raiding the economy here on the right side. And Wam's economy is dying here. Looking to get those stone walls. Looking to try and plug that gap. But Demuslim keeping it open with the elite horsemen. And this is a problem. Wam is losing more villagers. This is looking bad. He will need to reboom this economy. 96 villagers versus 134. And this is where the Chinese late game really pressures on. There's going to be a royal cannon going down to the horsemen as well. That is a very expensive loss. Villagers were pulled to try and repair, but they're not as good as they once used to be. Since the recent patch, that has been nerfed. Knights are looking to just sweep things up here on the right side. They need to plug this gap, and this is the issue. Wam is completely open. I say completely, but he's not completely. He's walled up, but this entry point here has been a big problem. And still, here on the right side is open. That's going to be an issue for Wam, that's for sure. This constant raiding means that Demuslim can pull away. He doesn't mind losing these cheap units, these horsemen, as long as he can cause some economy damage on the west side. Again, horsemen sniping off villagers, looking to get those stone walls repaired. See the flood of horsemen. For Demuslim moving forward, look how much food and wood he's got. He could do this for days. And Spearmen are going to take a fight against the elite royal knights, and he won't mind that. Of course, the spearmen will die quickly, especially with the arbaletier in behind and the royal culverins. But all things considered, he won't mind losing a couple of cheap units for the gold units, and you can see now the hand cannoneers being microed here actively by Demuslim, looking to shoot down these elite royal knights. Those spearmen charge in. What a kill that showed. And these knights will go down, no doubt about that. Hand cannoneers doing great work here. Again, Knights coming in small hordes there. Won't be enough. Horsemen looking to be the meat shield with the hand cannoniers in behind. And this is going to be the focus for the attack. That's for sure for both players. Because this is what's open. The French Royal Knights are dying pretty quickly to those hand cannoniers. Surprised the hand cannoniers aren't being addressed. A couple of spearmen there as well. The horsemen will go down pretty quickly. But wow, this is actually quite a large army now. The army has regrouped for one. They're pushing on the front lines with knights and arbaletiers, and a couple of spearmen dashed in for good measure. Now the French army is certainly going to overwhelm the Chinese. Hand cannoniers need to be kept alive though. And that's exactly what happens. The Muslim looking to keep the hand cannoniers alive as long as he can, so he can build up a death ball. The trebuchets there will be taken down though. This keep will probably go down. That does indeed happen. And that leaves that gold pile exposed, but no army here on the field almost for Demuslim. 71 for Wam, 41 for Demuslim. Demuslim's army back at home. We can see the Great Wall and Gatehouse having the nest of bees in placement. Getting good damage here. Hand cannoniers behind the spearmen and the horsemen. And this is a great fight for Demuslim, pushing this back again. The spearmen doing great work. Hand cannoniers melting those spearmen. And now with the defender's advantage, Demuslim going to push this back. The resource count certainly looking much more healthier for Demuslim in this late game. 40 minutes almost on the clock, 37 to be exact. And the horsemen push this back. So now back and fro, to and froing in this game. Villagers on wood on the right side. Siege engines there on the left. Pretty exposed actually, all things considered. This is for the focus for attack, and now Demuslim pushes that back. Wam looking in a spot of bother here. Wam's population down to 152. That is less than ideal. Doesn't have the resources to replenish his army quickly, which Demuslim certainly would do. As the game goes on, you get the feeling that Demuslim's in a stronger position. That Chinese late game is looking strong, especially with the hand cannoniers. He's kept them alive for a very long time. Sacred Site being taken by Wam again. Sacred Site on the right has to keep protecting it. Now, Demuslim sending villagers to the gold, wherever gold remains. Denies that sacred site in the center. He's going to move with an army on the left side as well once he tries to break in. Massive army here for Wam. Going to go through that gate though. Now he is fully walled up it seems. Villagers being lost there on the wood line though. Wam losing a lot of villagers. Less than 100 at this point. Takes a fight on the right side. Horseman will be melting there for Demuslim, but he knows the push is coming that way now. Looks like the Great Wall Gatehouse is looking to be pushed. Demuslim sending his army on the right side. Can look to take down the palisades relatively quickly, and there's a lot of economy here. Stone walls being rushed up here. Is that to the edge? I'm not entirely sure that's to the edge, guys. I think there's a tile gap. That's a problem. That's a big problem for Wam if he doesn't notice it, because this is going to be open, the palisades, anytime soon. Siege engines now retreating for Wam. He's under pressure here on the right side. Palisades will be broken. I don't think the stone walls are going to go up in time. Looks like Wam's going to try and rush it down. Going to try and get it down, but there's still a gap there, and in fact the Muslims just going to siege down the unbuilt wall with the spearmen, but still the wall will be built quicker. The wall gets denied, and that is a huge problem now for Wam. He's completely open on the right side, so no longer the center being the problem, but he does bring his army here, the knights and the spearmen in defense. Get a charge attack. Well, they don't really get a charge attack on those spears. Dives right in with the knights. I'm not sure that's a cost-effective fight. As for sure, the knights get trapped. This is a bad fight for Wam. You get the feeling. Demuslim doesn't mind taking this fight one bit. And Cannoneer still getting good value though for Demuslim. Does look like Wam will push this back. These are Imperial Age Knights, don't forget. Elite Royal Knights with Royal Bloodlines. So that won't be a problem. But he will be losing expensive units, and that's the key issue. From a trade point of view, you just get the feeling Demuslim is quite happy with this. Won't want to lose his hand cannoneers though. We see another horde of horsemen running towards the right side. We can see if they can get some damage. Hand cannoneers probably will be cleaned up now. That's certainly a good bit of pressure. Good trade there you feel for Demuslim. 172 population versus 195. Muslims' production capability is incredibly strong here. Going to rush through. Going to trade some horsemen for some knights. Pushing hard on the right side. The wall is still not built. And the Muslim's going to make sure that that's not built. He's going to try and keep it open for as long as he can to keep the pressure off. Now, this is very smart play now. The Muslim has had untouched eco for such a long period of time. It means that the longer that this game goes on, he looks to be in the driving seat, that's for sure. Trading. Holy moly, Demuslim is trading. Let's just see how much gold is picking up. Quite a bit, has to be said. 118 gold. Army on the right side. Horsemen are sweeping in, getting some eco damage. If not idle time, also villager kills. Horsemen again cycling through. The chase is on. Gold being taken now. What's remaining of this gold vein for Wam? And gold is certainly going to become an issue, and this is where the trading for the Chinese is certainly going to be playing a big difference. See if there's any trading for Wam. I don't believe there is. And that's going to be a key difference in this game, you feel. The trading is a huge boost to the economy for Demuslim. Look at the gold income. 3,000 gold in the bank. In fact, actually, Wam does have more gold income, but that's going to be cut off very soon if these villagers die. Villagers on the left going down, left, right, and centre. Population is still maxed out for Wam. That gold vein does go down now, and that gold income, I'm sure, per minute will be reducing very quickly. Wam will need to switch into trading. The right side again, still open. That is the focus for attack here, it seems. Gold income still relatively strong there for Wam, despite having no villagers, and it's primarily going to be because of the sacred sites and the 3 relics that he has. Does have a market and a nice post here. Army moving on the right side, it seems. This is the focus for attack. Sacred site still neutral here. Demuslim could take advantage of that. Ooh, a couple of elite knights looking to get some raiding done, but not going to be able to do too much. There's a couple of horsemen there. These knights will be going down. Spearmen looking to keep that open. Won't be enough though. Villagers haven't been sent forward to repair though. That stone wall, so probably be remaining open for a little bit of time longer. Ooh, looks like the keeps now on the west side are going to be taken down by the 2 trebuchets, and there are a couple of siege engines here, royal cannons, on the Imperial Palace, which is the Yuan dynasty coming in for the Chinese, which allows villagers, officials, and military units gain 15% speed, and has the access to the fire lancer. We shall see if we do see some fire lancers on the field. We'll see horsemen going there on the west side, looking to push that siege engines back. Not getting a huge load of value there. Trebuchets for Demuslim, looking to push this back, trying to break a wall to get in. Now Demuslim needs to find a way in. This is actually, I'm pretty convinced that's still open. I could be mistaken, but that feels like that's open. We shall see if any horsemen do manage to sweep in. Imperial Palace in an awkward spot there, as we said, in a forward position. Curious as to why he chose that position. I suspect it's because of the large sight radius. That gives them a lot of vision as to what's going on. Let's take a look at exactly how that vision looks. Look at that vision, it's incredible. Huge amounts of vision on that. Whereas when you look at Wam's position, vision a lot more limited, that's for sure. Okay, Wam is starting to push things back again. He's up to 200 population. You can see Wam's ability to survive in the Imperial Age, despite having lacking of resources. There's quite a lot of gold now. I just wonder whether he's got this trading economy. Yep, that is indeed what's happening. He's got the trading economy going. No real traders coming out just yet, but he's going to be setting himself up for the late game. We are already on the late game, 45 minutes on the clock, but wow, that's a lot of loss of army there for Wam. 64 though, still on the field versus 65. The army must just be in a separate spot, a different location. And these stone walls will be redundant here for Wam, because the wood lines will be chopped through. 2 mangonels. We're getting good value, but hand cannon is starting to build up in numbers. Imperial Academy does go down. Does he still see the sight radius because of that? We shall see. He does lose the sight radius though, once that goes down. Big fight here. It's a fight that feels like Demuslim's going to win, especially under the supervision or the Great Wall Gatehouse getting some damage in there at times. Although the reinforcements from Wam, the home advantage playing a big role. It feels like Wam should be able to hold for now. Central Sacred Site looking to be taken, but there is a keep there. That's a good spot there for Demuslim, keeping hold of that position with a keep. Now a couple of bombards for the Chinese. Siege is on the field now for Demuslim. You get the feeling that's what he was lacking. You get the feeling that Demuslim didn't quite have the siege he needs to finish this game off, but certainly the siege are coming forward now. Okay, siege on siege action. The 50% extra health on the clock tower bombards versus the damage output increase for the royal cannon, which is only 20%. I say only, but that is a very much sizable amount of damage increase. Army backs off for Demuslim. Again, these villagers have been working hard all game. One thing has to be brought into consideration is the 4 imperial officials will be gathering tax for Demuslim. Look at the amount of traders he has. There's a lot of trading, and that early investment into trading looks like it's paying off for Demuslim. Let's take a look at the gold income per minute. Although Wam's gold income per minute is certainly better. Wam doing great on the gold income front. Rather surprising considering the lack of traders. With the relics coming in clutch here. I suspect maybe it's better quality trade as well. 93 gold on the way back. Yep, 93 gold versus the 118. So if anything, Demuslim has a slightly better trading setup. Wham, pushing this position, trying to hold on actually really. It's more Demuslim pushing with the army. Now this is a very large, sizable number of hand cannoneers, 19 to be exact. That is a large force. That is a fearsome force, ladies and gentlemen. You get the feeling that if this builds up to a more sizable number, that could be the platform that Demuslim needs to push on and win this game. There's a lot of hand cannoneers, certainly enough to one-shot a elite royal knight. Getting huge amounts of damage output here. Mangonel's trying to get some damage though. I suspect that's what Wham's going to try and tech into. The mangonels for the hand cannoneers. But he's struggling to hold on. The gate is on fire. The stone wall crumbles to the ground. 2 trebuchets likely to be sniped as well now. Yep, horsemen going to snipe at least one. Horsemen, hand cannoneers, the army of composition and choice for Demuslim. Playing as the Chinese, slowly making his way through on the west side. And this is where things are starting to struggle for Wam. Doesn't have the military. 63 military for Demuslim, 23 for Wam. Wam is certainly struggling. And this is where things can snowball out of control. Demuslim has the resources to keep producing. He has the food. He has the gold for hand cannoneers. He's struggling a little bit on wood, but not as much as Wam is. And you get the feeling with this flood of units here, this could be the end of Wam's position in this game. Game number 1, Demuslim looking strong, going up to 50 minutes and beyond, I suspect, this game. And the horsemen looking to get some village kills. Wam is trying to rush up a defensive keep. That could be risky. Certainly going to lose villagers on the process. I don't think it's going to go up. This horseman chasing them down. I don't know if this keep's going to go up. Especially with the siege and behind, there's a bombard there. That could just shoot the keep as soon as it's tried to be built. I don't think this keep's going to go up, and if it does, it won't last for very long. Horsemen taking out villagers left, right and centre. 124. Look at the villager count. It's going to be dipping. It's going to be dropping, that's for sure. It's going to be plummeting at this scenario. And it looks like that'll be a doubt keep, and in fact, might not even be a doubt keep. The bombards might just take it out. I think Wam has to delete that. That's not going to go up. I think he's going to lose a stone if he doesn't delete it, and in fact, he's going to lost it. Yep, he has indeed lost it. That keep bought him a couple of seconds, but will it be enough? I don't think so. 32 military versus 44. Demuslim has lost a lot, though. He has been flooding in units, losing a lot in the meantime, but he has the momentum. The momentum in Age of Empires 4 can be incredibly key. Siege relatively unprotected. Hand cannon is rushing back, and it feels like Demuslim needs another strong push. Is now getting elite fire lancers, so a little bit of a lull in pressure is because of the tech change into elite fire lancers. Demuslim looking to finish this game out soon. There are artillery on the field though. Hand cannoneers, elite fire lancers, going for very expensive units. And hand cannoneers on the back line doing a lot more damage. Spearmen doing good work against the Fire Lancers. Will it be enough? The Imperial Palace is now up and running, so vision will be there for Demuslim, that's for sure. Let's take a look at that vision. Huge amounts of vision from that Imperial Palace. Pretty crazy. Population actually been dropped for Demuslim. The steam has run out. He's run out of wood. That is an issue. Demuslim has been struggling for wood for quite some time. Has some wood here on the right, but not a lot. It's going to be moving his villagers, I suspect, for wood. He needs to find a wood resource. And fast. He's going to hold the lines though behind the Imperial Palace. You get the feeling of that. Income per minute. Not looking great for Demuslim. That's a lot of gold. The trade is incredible for Demuslim. That could tell the difference in this game. Gold units typically will be better. Elite Fire Lancers backed up by hand cannoneers. 52 minutes into the game. At this best of 7, this has certainly become a war of attrition this first game of the set. Okay, Siege starting to push forward a little bit there. There is a trebuchet. Elite Horseman rushing in, looking to get some eco damage if he can. Wam is building his population back up to 200. So is Demuslim. Another wave of attack. It looks like it's going to be who runs out of resources faster. Wam looking to rewall his position. But now Elite Lancers and Elite Palace Guards. You get the feeling the army composition here looking strong for Demuslim. Very highly armored units. Elite Lancers, Palace Guards. The problem is that there are Arbaletier and Spearmen on hand for Wam. Will this be enough though? Lots of hand cannoneers doing great work here on the back line. Palace Guards rushing in. Spearmen and Lancers as well for Demuslim. Being pushed back now though. The Arbaletier mass in behind is a little bit too strong. And looks like the Imperial Palace might be going down for a second or third time. Who knows? I've lost count. Wam looking strong. He's holding on. He's holding on for now. But for how much longer? Looks like Wam's going to try and get some damage here. If he spots this, there's a lot of villagers here that can be taken out. He's sending a couple of horsemen there. Needs to deny that wood. The wood is a really scarce resource for Demuslim right here. And that could be an issue. That could be one way he can win this game. Ooh, 2 Lancers. Well, 1 Lancer and a Horseman, I believe. 1 Lancer and an Elite Fire Lancer. Cycling on the right side. This is open. This must be open. And neither player really realising that, I think. And Cannoneers moving on the left. The villagers go back onto the wood on the left side. A couple of Horsemen going to try to get some damage, but there are a lot of Elite Lancers on the chase. Certainly more than enough to deal with that. And the Great Wall Gatehouse doing lots of damage with that sort of Nest of Bees type defense emplacement. Trebuchet looking to break down the palisade walls. That could be a route of entry. Yeah, those horsemen probably will be dying just a matter of time. Yeah, they're going to be caught out by the Lancers now. Barbican of the Sun having a say in it as well. There's just so many traders here for Demuslim. It's quite unbelievable. Both populations at 200. Just comes down to now who has the stronger army. Getting another little bit of skirmish here for the horsemen, trying to get some value, but not getting too much. Lancer and Fire Lancer has been dealt with by the horsemen on the right side for Demuslim. And Cannoneers being microed there. Back to the Imperial Palace. There's a trebuchet there as well. Not quite enough army here for Demuslim. Might use a couple of hand cannoneers if they get chased down. Horsemen not managing to stay alive for too long though. And again, the Great Wall Gatehouse doing so much damage. But there are 2 royal cannons there. The hand cannons versus Arbaletier. Just get the feeling hand cannons will win that fight. Horsemen rushing into the hand cannons, they will be absolutely demolished. Wam trying to do anything he can to reduce that mass of hand cannoneers, but that group of hand cannoneers has been in healthy numbers for quite a period of time. And now the numbers here for Demuslim trying to rush in. Hand cannoneers, as you can see, slowly pushing forward. You get the feeling this is slowly turning in the tide of Demuslim. Population dropping to 185 for Wam. Steal that 200 for Demuslim. Now this is where we see a big influx of army. There are palace guards, there are elite lancers there. Palace guards rushing on the front line against the spearmen, against the horsemen. And this is where the hand cannoneers get so much damage. DPS on the back line. Behind that forward meat shield, and the lancers being held behind just until that army gets taken. It's going to cycle through the right side, in fact. And the villagers there might be caught out. There's going to be a little bit of a raiding party with those lancers that have broken off. And this is looking bad for Wam because he's lost a lot of units here. Lost a lot of mass, and this is a strong army. This is elite lancers, hand cannoneers, spearmen, and a dash of palace guards in for the mix as well. Raiding party going on the left side. And on the right, villagers on wood here being chopped down, so many of them. Yeah, that's looking bad. Population really lacking for Wam now. 184, but he's still managing to maintain. Look at the food there for Demuslim. Has a lot more than Wam, and that's going to be key. Especially the gold as well. Constant raiding going to be a problem for Wam. He needs to stop this somehow. And here comes the siege. Clock Tower trebuchets need to get hold of these outposts, which have been fortified. And now look at that trade. The trade is quite hefty there for Wam. This game could go forever, but we shall see if a player can mass up the army. And there's a lot of hand cannoneers. I feel like that's going to play a big impact. 20 hand cannoneers with the elite horsemen on the front lines. Bit of a stalemate here on the front line in the west, but there's a horde of elite royal knights coming in for Wam. Looking to push this back once again. Hand cannoneers getting in front of the trebuchets, looking to protect them, but there's a couple of elite royal knights, quite a few of them. Not sure Demuslim has enough here to hold. We'll probably lose that Imperial Palace once again. And the elite royal knights are dashing forward, looking to get some eco damage, but I don't know if that's a good idea because a lot of army here on the front line. He leaves his artillery relatively exposed on that front. And the hand cannoneers will be able to push forward, but the elite royal knight does kind of entice a couple of the lancers for Demuslim. He needs to protect his economy. He does need units here fast. There's a lot of raiding potential here, that's for sure. The knights will dive in, get a lot of villager kills if he's not careful here, Demuslim. He needs to keep an eye on that. In fact, he pushes forward. He's a great breakaway there for Wam. Takes 4 elite royal knights to distract the army that's pushed back there for Demuslim to chase. Now this is where the villagers have to run and hide. That economy is under pressure, but on the front line there are a lot of hand cannoneers. Imperial Palace does go down. Elite lancers there on the field as well. And this is a kind of a catch-22. Does Demuslim send his army back? He does indeed send a couple of lancers to deal with this. It should be enough. It might not be enough in terms of numbers. It should be enough because there's a couple of horsemen diced in there. Wam, 162 population, 180 for Demuslim, and this is an issue for Wam, that's for sure. The hand cannoneers pushing forward on the west side. Villagers there going on wood. Wood is an issue for this game, guys. Turning into a wood game. Trebuchets, 4 of them, break through the stone wall again. Oh, Lancer's getting good value here for Wam. Wam, the knights do stay alive. A couple of spearmen there getting some damage. There is a bombard as well. Okay, population still trying to gather up for Wam. Demuslim looking strong on 193. A big raiding here for the Lancers. This is an issue for Wam. He doesn't have the wood. They're both fighting for this wood position here, really. It looks like Wam does have 2 outposts, which will certainly help. But certainly both players are struggling for the wood, and that's where the vision is. That's where the players are going. That's where the armies are going. Yeah, the hand cannoneers are going to clear this up, and that could be the GG. These villagers are completely exposed. There are so many of them. They do get pulled back, but the problem is, where does Wam get wood? A couple of stealth forest wood there. Will it be enough? Wam's population 180 versus the 200 for the Muslim. This is an issue. This is the main patch of wood that's left on the map. Although Wam does have this patch of wood there, that would certainly be a safer option. Well, this is a big fight here. Villagers getting in the mix. We could try and snipe the siege, but the siege is so well protected here by Demuslim. It's like a royal covenant's going to go down. 1 hour on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. This is certainly a war of attrition. And Wham really struggling on village count. Well, military count rather, actually. 155 population versus 200. This could be the beginning of the snowball. At least the statistics say so. Villagers have to be pulled back again. They cannot be unguarded like that. There's just not enough military on the field for Wham. And you get the feeling now this is going to be a strong push for Demuslim. He has siege. He's got trebuchets. He's got bombards. He's got hand cannons. He's got lancers. Horsemen, rather. Post going down. You get the feeling Wham's going to struggle for wood. This is possibly the beginning of this strong push. There's a bombard on the field. Needs to be not caught out though. Wham needs to be careful not to overchop in the midst of that. So the bombard will be going down to the veteran horsemen. Wait. These haven't been upgraded. Veteran horsemen. That's got the elite Royal Knights though. Hand cannoneers and behind the lancers. And this is the big fight, but this is not a fight that you feel that Wham could win. 60 military for Wham. 74 for Demuslim. Lots of spearmen on hand. The hand cannoneers being the difference you feel in this game so far. This is the big fight that we've been waiting for. Spearmen on lancers. And the hand cannoneers one-shotting things. Getting that ranged attack. That's so powerful. Fighting almost under the keep. In fact, the keep is getting damaged there. There's also a bombard there on the left side for Demuslim. This is a big fight. The hand cannon is getting so much damage. Demuslim winning this fight. Wham throwing his units. This is looking at bad for Wham. Wham is down to 56 military, but they're not all on the front line. The 70 military for Demuslim are all on the front line. 3 trebuchets, and this just looks like it's in a rough spot for Wham. I'm not sure if he can hold on for much longer. Resource count not looking good. Looking to repair that Royal Culverin. But if that Royal Culverin goes down, it probably will. That could be the gateway to this entrance of this base. Another hand cannoneers. These guys have stayed alive for so long. 23 of them. It's been a problem for Wham all game since they've been on the field. Oh, a forward keep going there for Demuslim. That's going to be a huge staging ground to attack from. Not sure if he bought that or where that came from. In any case, it's huge, and that will be going up because these villagers build fast. And it means that this is going to be a huge staging ground for Demuslim to push in. It'd be interesting to see if the keep was there. That could have been incredible. Keep will go up. Army looking strong for Demuslim. 138 population for Wham. He's really struggling on the military count. Can't produce, doesn't have the resources count, doesn't have the economy. And this looks like it's the beginning of the end because the army is pushing forward for Demuslim. There are a lot of hand cannoneers there, 30 of them. That is a death ball. And there is the GG. Wham taps out. Game number 1 goes to Demuslim. The best of 7 is heating up. Starts off with a win for Demuslim and the Chinese. Game number 2 coming right up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 for this best of 7 for the grand final, one of the grand finals for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy July finals. And we have got Wham playing in the northeast corner of the map in red as the Chinese, and on the southwest corner of the map in blue is the Muslim playing as the English. So now we have the Chinese being picked by Wham on the map for Lakes, going for an early dock. English also going for the dock here, played by Demuslim. An interesting game, I think. We don't often see the English being picked on a map like Four Lakes. We'd often see map civilizations like the Rus, perhaps even Holy Roman Empire, and it looks like today we've got something a little bit different in terms of matchup. Scout for Demuslim, looking to get some intel there if he's going for a dock, and he does indeed see the dock. Should be an interesting game because, of course, the English need to be aggressive. Can't really hang back. It's really kind of in the late game that the English come to a good power spike, but so do the Chinese. We saw it in the last game on Dry Arabia. Sheep being picked up, and of course both players will be relying on the fish on Four Lakes. Both players have docked now. Game number 2. Wham needs to get a response here. Demuslim getting that first game. A lot of sheep being picked up by Wham, that's for sure. Obviously won't be overly reliant on that at this stage of the game. That is a lot of sheep being pulled in there. 9 to be exact for Wham. Probably won't be too reliant on that. Of course, going for the sheep, for the fishing ships. Quite heavy on wood as you'd expect for the English. No villages on gold just yet, as you'd expect on Four Lakes. Generally, you tend to go up to the next stage relatively slowly compared to other maps. Because of course, there's that investment in the fishing ships. Seems very much the meta. Can't really do without going for the fishing ships, it seems, for most civilizations on this map. Oh, 10 sheep there for Demuslim, going one better. Now we're starting to go to get some villagers on gold, getting a second house as well for the population space, of course. What's interesting is that Demuslim doesn't opt to, or it doesn't actually have a shortfish there, unfortunately. But neither does Wam. It's actually got a sheep dropped off there, so reduce the walking distance there. Dropped off a sheep there to be taken instead of walking the villager back. It's kind of interesting. Not something we kind of expected there. Okay, third village coming out to gold for Demuslim. Now, it's obviously a relatively passive opening for both players here. Can't really expect too much at this stage of the game. Relatively slow opening is Four Lakes. Could actually pick up some gold tax here from the wood as soon as it hits 40. That would be the optimal time to do it with the Imperial Official. Certainly help the gold income for the age up for Wam. Sending a villager here on the left, looking to wall up that position. Wants to secure that dock position, not lose that out. Wow, relatively expensive, also quite a heavy investment this early on. Oh, looks like Demuslim is rushing up that village. Got quite a few villages on that gold mine, 5 to be exact. He's going to be dropping that council hall. And he's using villagers off of food, almost going for the Abbey of the Kings, decides probably not. Going for the council hall. I'm quite surprised with how many villages he's got on gold. Quite a lot. Maybe looking to get some eco upgrades on the back of this in the feudal age. It could be going for some man-at-arms, maybe, potentially. Or maybe looking to save up the gold for the galley. Looking to get a dock on the opposite pond. But let's try and put a foundation down. The walls won't go up in time here for the Chinese. Dock foundation. Oh, he deletes it. Oh, I think he tried to... Oh, wow. He's actually going to manage it. Wow, that is huge. Wam managed to get the palisade walls down, foundations in time. Now those two villagers having to go back for Demuslim. One of them probably going to be lost to the scout. That's rather surprising. Wait, was there not two there? Oh, there was. That was kind of weird. Splits them off. Different directions. Gives one up to the scout. That's actually really huge. So this dock should be protected now. Good idea to wall this up. Takes the villagers off of gold and does go for barracks, so will indeed most likely be man-at-arms. You'd think. Either man-at-arms or upgrades. Either way, he's going to get to the feudal age up now before 6 minutes. He's probably going to be pumping out those longbows, which we'll see. Looks like it's a relatively aggressive build here for Demuslim. And it is man-at-arms. It is certainly man-at-arms which he's going to go for. Got the Vanguard man-at-arms queued up. Needs to upgrade them to early man-at-arms and Vanguard man-at-arms. Not hugely kind of effective at this stage of the game, because once Wam does get to the feudal age, which he is indeed now, there. Could go for some arch ranges. There's the man-at-arms coming out, accompanied by longbows. So Vanguard man-at-arms, or man-at-arms generally, and longbows. On the left side, Wam going for a dock with a very weakened villager. Going relatively greedy here, and that could become a problem actually because of the aggression. And that one villager actually puts an outpost, or looks to try and put an outpost. An outpost going up for Wam there with 3 villagers. But the problem is that man-at-arms is coming through and the longbow. I think the outpost will go up in time, I suspect, for Wam. Especially now that he's rushing it up with 7 villagers. Just moving a bit further over to the left there, so there's a huge amount of aggression here for Demuslim. This could become a problem because he's invested... Wam has invested a lot of wood here. He's going for... Wait, why is he going for a junk? That's a little bit early, a bit preemptive. But he's going for a junk there, spending the wood and gold. Just wants to make sure that's secured, I guess. Outpost is up now. No hand cannon slits just in place. It needs the stone for that. But the outpost will go up. 2 villagers doing it. Sending man-at-arms and archers, longbows there, and a spearman as well. So mixed army composition for Demuslim. This is a problem. Wam doesn't have any military on the field, and I'm not sure why. Doesn't have a production building. This is a huge issue. He's under pressure here. Woodline under pressure. Doesn't have a single production building. He's invested all his wood on the docks. Does have enough wood now for a production building. What will he go for? He goes for an archery range. Smart move. Trouble is, he'll need 2 archery ranges just to be able to maintain production against the council hall. Another outpost going up for Demuslim. If Demuslim's on stone, it could get arrow slits. It's not yet. Oh, he is indeed on stone. That is huge. That is huge. Those outposts getting arrow slits will be even tankier. There it is. There's the arrow slits. And there's no hand cannon slits for Wam. And in fact, he's got 4 villages garrisoned, but it's going to be sieged down. It could potentially be sieged down by the spearmen and man-at-arms. They are just vanguard. Well, it's just one vanguard man-at-arms. Spearmen mostly. And this is huge because the longbow's going to pick off some villages here on the woodline as well. It looks like the outpost will be taken down. Wam not on stone. We're going to go to the castle age. This is so greedy, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very greedy build by Wam. Don't get to the castle age. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think he's in a position to. He's not very safe. He's lost villages already. There's the Barbican of the Sun. He's going to go for a defensive lamp. Yeah, maybe it wasn't necessarily the castle age, but it's floating a lot of gold, floating a lot of food. Going to the Barbican of the Sun to protect that gold, but another outpost going there for Demuslim. That outpost creep is surely underway. Arrow slits coming there. There's no wood. Wam is in so much problems. He's got 2 forward wood lines and they're both being denied air. This is a great play by Demuslim, really making use of the map situation and the awareness of the fact that both his wood lines are forward. There's no wood for Wam. He's got no villages on wood. He's spending what wood he does have on walls. This is a huge problem. He needs to send these villagers to get a lumber camp on this side or something. He needs wood and he's really struggling. He's got food, he's got gold, could get to the Imperial Age, sorry, the Castle Age, but what does he do from there? Maybe man-at-arms himself, but because that's all he can afford. He doesn't have a barracks to do so though. Wam is going with the astronomical clock tower, but what will he be able to produce with that? Nothing, because he doesn't have any wood. That will get him up to the Castle Age. Loses a villager there to the longbows and another. Maybe even a third and a third as well. Villager count looking dire for him. Wham, 44 versus 41. It will be the fishing ships, a large fishing economy. That's where the wood is being spent, and that's the problem because he doesn't have any wood to spend on the land. Oh, the Castle Age upgrade just comes in, but villagers here exposed. Longbow is going to pick off some villagers or cause some damage at least to the scout. Wham's base completely inundated. This is a huge problem. There's no way around. There's no way out. His wood is completely covered with outposts, with arrow slits. There's no way for him to safely gather wood. There's a couple of villages here on the left, but not enough. He's got this junk. He's got fishing ships here as well. He's going to need a market. He's going to need a market to sell the food. That's all he can really do. So much idle time here. Not looking great. Gonna have to go to gold. Needs that wood though. Where is he going to get wood from? That's the problem. He spent it on fishing ships. And he's under a lot of pressure now. He's trying to get wood from here, but there's only so much he can take. There's an outpost there with arrows that's coming in as well. Just needs to garrison some army there, and that'll be a problem. Rams are coming out on the field as well. The Muslim looking strong to make this a 2-0. Wham! In trouble. He is in trouble to say the least. Villager trying to gather wood, loses one. Can't gather it safely. Will be able to deposit some. Will it be enough for a market? He needs a market. He needs a way back to push these outposts out. But the amount of military that the Muslim has in the field is pretty impressive. 32 military, 4 to 6 villages. Ram is on the field as well. Dock's going to go down. That food income going to dry out, and that is massive. Losing this stock is huge. All this wood investment for nothing now. Has got a lot of food from it though. Not enough space in the town centre. It's going to snipe the Imperial official and villagers. Villagers are looking to try and siege down the ram, but they'll be picked apart by the longbows. The longbows are going to dive in. They don't mind. And this is going from bad to worse. Wam has almost seemingly no way back into this. Just lost too much here. 45 villagers, 47. Doesn't feel like it's got that many. I think most of them must be idle. Yep, indeed. 26 of them are idle. They just can't gather resources safely here. If he decides to go out here, he's going out for the straggler tree. He doesn't have enough even for a market. He has to rely on straggler tree. Great map awareness here for Demuslim. Piling on the pressure. And he's just going to dive with spearmen. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind if he needs a spearman. He's kept so many villages idle here. 15 to be exact. And behind this, The Muslims getting stronger and stronger, getting another ram on the field. Villagers again, trying to get out there, trying to get that wood. Astronomical clock tower slowly being taken down by the battering rams. Trying to rebuild the dock. Oh, still doesn't have enough for a market. He's going for the dock first. He needs a barracks. He needs a man-at-arms. He needs something here at this stage. Doesn't have gold enough. Again, longbow's going to snipe villagers left, right, and centre. Things looking bad. Man-at-arms going to dive in. These are early man-at-arms now. Have been upgraded. Feudal age units for Demuslim. Going to see the dock. Going to snipe out the villager there. Maybe even take out the dock again for a second time. 13 minutes on the clock and you just get the feeling this game's over. There's a ram taking out the houses for good measure. Villagers trying to go on the berries, but again, spearmen on hand. 2 rams to take out the astronomical clock tower. That is the biggest threat, but there's no wood. There's no wood to spend on any siege. No nest of bees are going to be coming out. 27 villagers are idle. Make that 28, and this is looking bad for Wam. No real way to get back into the game, you feel. No foothold, a lot of food. It's just really struggling here. Get the feeling Demuslim might make this 2-0. 2 rams there on the front. Ram here as well. Making its way through. Going to be taking out the town centre now. 8 villagers garrisoned in. Villagers going to be going back to the town centre to drop off some wood. Will it be enough for a market? It won't. Spearmen and longbows there. A massive surround. Rams going to take out the dock, and that's going to be no more food income. This is going to be bad for Wam. And I just don't think there's a way in. I don't think there's a way back into the game. Wam trying his best, of course. Can't blame him. This is the grand finals, the July monthlies for the road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. A lot's at stake here. The 3 rams are going to take out the primary town centre. 17 villagers garrisoned inside. Going to send a villager on the left, but that's been spotted. I think Demuslim might chase that down with a spearman. He does indeed do that. Everything else comes back to the town centre to fight it. Villagers pop out, but not where they want to. That's just not looking great here for Wam. There's nowhere to really get out these 3 rams. Villagers come out of the village. The village has been idled for a long time there. Town centre almost down. And it looks like Wam might have to tap out here. Probably just a matter of time. Does get a lumber camp on the west. Oh, the villagers are idled here. They're so unfortunate. Not ideal at all. So much pressure on the defence here. They've just missed these villagers, and that is a massive problem. The town centre will be melting now. The villagers there will be dying. Snipe, nowhere for them to run and hide. The next landmark to go down will be the Imperial Academy. Momentum firmly in liquid. The Muslims grasp. And there's the GG. Wam taps out. Demuslim gets the second game of the set. And this is huge. A 2-game advantage for Demuslim. Demuslim looking strong. Wam needs a response, and it needs it fast. Game number 3 coming right up. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back to game number 3 from this best of 7 set between Demuslim and Wam. One of the grand finals for this July monthly Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. Lots at stake. It's going to be a golden ticket to the main event in Castle Heidelberg, Germany. And on the east side of the map, Demuslim, representing Team Liquid in blue, is playing as the French. And on the south side of the map in red is Wam playing as the Mongols. And Wam is currently 2 games down. He needs a response, and he needs one fast. If he loses this one, then it will be match point to Demuslim, and Wam will not want to have that to happen, because that would mean he would need a reverse sweep to have a chance of getting through to Castle Heidelberg in this particular event. He's got his over forward and his gold relatively forward as well, so this is not a great spawn for Wam, has to be said. The gold being so far forward is kind of typical for Frisian marshes. Obviously for Wam, it's even further forward, considering he's had to put his town centre on the woodline, of course, as you do with the Mongols, and barracks is being put down. Looks like it's going to be an outpost rush opening, typical sort of Mongols scenario, and especially on Frisian marshes when the gold is so far forward, as you can see. The French going for villagers on gold now, setting up. Oh no, that is a bit of a misclick, or something didn't really quite happen there that Demuslim would have wanted. 7 villagers on food, setting 3 to gold, getting the gold nice and early. Holy smokes, that's a lot of sheep there. 10 being brought back by the Khan. Lots of sheep on this map, of course. Frisian Marshes, one of the community generated maps. It's definitely one of my favourite maps in the whole game so far. I'm excited to see how this game unfolds, especially with the higher stakes involved. Oh, but a lot of sheep coming here forward to Muslim. There was a 13 sheep in that single horde, but he's already got 20 in total. That's a lot of sheep, guys. So certainly the French doing French things, getting a lot of sheep, which is important for them. Of course, we do have these shorefishes outside on the map as well, which are incredibly fast to gather. We shall see if either player goes for that kind of early. I suspect we'll probably see the spearmen coming forward with villagers as well. There we see the villager being scouted out by 2 scouts. That is not ideal for Wam. Does have the spearman relatively close by. Doesn't manage to get a hit. He managed to get 1 hit actually. The villager will go for just the 1 villager being invested here for the outpost, and I suspect the Muslim will want to send a couple more villagers to go to wood to get his own defensive outpost. We shall see how he plays this one out. And the Mongols haven't been picked that much since the recent patch, especially on the ladder. So we shall see how this one features. School of Cavalry, there we are. The French are one of the kind of fastest civilizations to get to that next stage. As you can see, he's getting there. With the School of Cavalry, we'll be able to drop an archery range if he gets enough villagers on wood, but hasn't actually sent extra villagers to wood just yet. Has just done that just now. That's relatively important. Has 6 villagers on food, and the rest will be going to wood, no doubt. Gold will be outposted, but that can be taken down, especially if the Muslim focuses on that feudal age aggression to push us back. We'll need to invest in siege engineering, or maybe rush us down with villagers once the age up has happened and Wam hasn't got arrow slits. Often that's the timing. There's a timing window when Mongols have not been able to get to the next stage just yet, when they're aging up, because obviously that means they're in Dark Age, can't get arrow slits. And with the French going up in the next age, getting some archers there to try and snipe the spearmen could be useful. Looks like Wam might get the raiding bonus now from this gold mine. I suspect that will be the case. Khan there on the other side, just keeping an eye on those wood villagers. The Muslim will have enough for an archer range as soon as he gets up to the next stage. There's that raiding bonus coming in for Wam. Wam getting stuck out on the gold again. The gold's so far forward that the villager might be sniped by the scouts. 1 villager has to be sent back home. There is the feudal age for the Muslim. It is indeed an archer range being put down. No surprises there. And the Khan being annoying and harassing the villagers on wood. And immediately archers are queued up for the Muslim. Spears do come back to try and defend that gold mine, and that's actually quite key and important. That gold will be needed to get to the next stage. Mongol Khan backs off. Archers starting to come out now. We need a mass of them. No age up just yet for Wam. Needs a bit more gold. It was delayed on that front. Getting the barracks being pushed further forward. Getting a stable as well. So going to commit hard to the feudal age once he gets there. Because he's really struggling in the gold front. Okay. A couple of archers popping out now for the Muslim. Got housed there temporarily. Has quite a few scouts as well, so gone for 5 scouts from the School of Cavalry. And he's going to look to try and siege down that outpost. He needs access to that gold again. Yeah, he's really buckling down on the scouts. 6 of them. I mean, could even justify getting professional scouts after this. Probably won't need to, because he's got so many sheep there. Of course, there's the shorefish that he can go for. Wow, imagine that town centre spot here. The deer, the shorefish, wood and gold close by. Here comes the push. A couple of archers there. Let's just see how many. Villagers being pulled as well. Holy smokes. 4 archers. A decent number of villagers and the 7 scouts. There are 5 units garrisoned in that outpost, but with good micro, Demuslim might be able to pull away the weak scout and let that heal up. Archers will take down this spearman. Once the spearmen get taken down, now that outpost is out there, it's not really a fight that Demuslim has to take really. He could probably pull back his scouts and walk back, and he's just going to stand and fight. He'll lose a couple of good scouts though for it. Perhaps lost a bit more than he needed to. The archers are there. There are 2 early horsemen there as well for the mix, so that's certainly going to help the position. Actually, those horsemen are doing a lot here. Now backs off, and looks like Demuslim going for stone. Looking to rush down a second town centre perhaps. But I need lots of wood for that as well. Wam getting to the feudal age now. He needs to double down on the aggression, especially once he sees this. This is relatively greedy, it seems, actually. Going for a second town centre is going to be under pressure here. Especially with the horsemen. They are early horsemen though, so should be taken down quite well by the archers and also the horsemen for Demuslim. Going on the gold again now as well. So solidifying his position here, Demuslim, in a good spot. Once he gets that second town centre, he'll be looking strong, especially with the French. And I wonder if he's going to get a town centre out there in the open or head it back home for a bit more of a defensive approach. Maybe the gold. Might even put the town centre on the gold just to secure that gold. Needs probably just one more drop off on the stone and they'll be able to have that 300 stone he needs for the second town centre. Villagers probably need to go to wood. Doesn't really have enough wood here at this point. Kind of overmining the stone here if it's just go for one town centre. Lots of villagers in gold. Looks like Wam going to go to the castle age behind this. Quite common for the Mongols to go for the outpost rush into castle age. Yep, the villagers do get peeled away. Going for a mill. Could even afford an outpost with arrow slits on that position. 12 villagers on wood. Going to be able to afford that second town centre relatively quickly. A couple of horsemen and scouts go forward for Demuslim to see if we can get some value on the gold miners, but there is an outpost there. 4 villagers in gold so far for Demuslim. Getting some knights out now. Almost there with the second town centre wood. Oh, going for the Aoe4. Oh, that's a nice spot. He's getting hit by the outpost though, so it's nicely placed, that outpost. Does lose a scout. Has a decent amount of wood. Has just spent that wood on the town centre, I suspect. He's going to be putting it out here on the shorefish and the wood in a nice spot. Relatively defensive in terms of the closeness to the base. Probably the closest position that you could take really with shorefish. And Knight going out there as well, just to secure that position, just to make sure it goes up. A couple of the horsemen there trying to chase down the horsemen from Demuslim. Does happen because obviously with the movement speed buff from the Khan. Now the gold might be under a bit of pressure, but there are 2 knights there, so those knights will be able to do more than enough damage, especially with the archers in behind. Wam looking to harass the gold villagers. Can't really get quite close to it. He's going to have to back off now. Will he have a movement signal left? He doesn't, so he can't really back off too easily. But he's going to be trying to run away here. Second town centre now is up and running. Villager count going to be looking strong for Demuslim. 38 versus 34. Wam needs an aggression here. There we are. There's the step without going up to the castle age, and this is the issue. With Demuslim being quite greedy in the feudal age with that second town centre, his castle age is going to be absolutely miles away. And the next stage for castle age is going to be incredibly strong for Wam. Not to be underestimated, the power of that tech up. Triple stable is going to go for lancers here, going to have that movement and mobility on the map. Wam has a decent number of villages on the gold, 9 of them. We'll be able to double produce as well using the Aoe4. There's that blacksmith for the French. We'll have that bloomery for free. This is the position that Demuslim needs to push. He needs to push the gold situation. He's probably relatively certain that his opponent is going to the castle age, considering the lack of aggression to follow it up. These knights hardly take any damage from the arrow fire. The step roulette will be going up pretty soon. There it is. Needs to just pump out 1 or 2 knights. Should be able to get double produce a knight though. Let's just see. Nothing being queued up just yet. Oh, the horsemen pop out. Going to look to try and snipe as many of the archers as possible. 1 knight does go down eventually. Another knight joining in the queue. Gets the massive charge attack. Takes the horseman down. This is buying valuable time. The villagers are still garrisoned. Not gathering the gold. That's actually a bit of an oversight. He needs that gold. The villagers do pop out now. The drop off. Will that be enough for 1 lancer? He needs to garrison again now. Manages to save that villager. Knights will probably go down here though. Yeah. The knights are tanky, but they're not invulnerable. We're seeing double production knights, a knight coming out there. These are castle age knights. These will do so much damage. Needs to keep the Khan alive though if you can. Step right out, being moved to the gold land. That's going to be key and important. And these 2 outposts doing a lot of job, a massive job here. 2 lancers pop out now. Demuslim can't take this fight. There are loses 2 knights there. That is huge. And now the lancers are going to push this back. Archers will be all but dead. And now the step right out, going there. Nice position actually, because it will give him a slightly extra line of vision. Now the gold income will slowly start to increase here for Wam to a sizable amount. Army numbers really dwindling for Demuslim now. 5 military on the field for Wam, but these are castle age units versus 6 for Demuslim. 53 village though, 12 villager advantage. He needs to convert that into military though. Getting an outpost in that position is going to be pushed hard. Lancers. These lancers won't mind about getting shot by the towers at all. Gonna charge right in. Gets a charge attack. 2 versus 2, but these 3 lancers will be more than enough. Looks to try and get some damage on the villagers. Doesn't quite manage it. Needs to backtrack though. That knight is looking very low on HP. Won't want to lose it. Can't really heal it up anyway though. We'll need another group of knights to come in if you can. How much is he producing? Yep, double producing. Struggling for the gold though. It's got plenty of wood. May need to transition some villages off of wood to gold. We shall see. He's actually got a monastery there. Prayer tent. Looking to get the... Oh, he's moving out as well. With his guy. Going for the deer. Rather strange he's going for the deer. And not the shorefish. I'm not entirely sure why. In any case. Getting the lancers. Going to get a charge attack. Going to pick off some villagers here, most likely. I think textiles is not in there for Demuslim. Going to back off with the knights. Loses 1. Loses 2. There was a group of 3 there. One knight's going to head forward. Over is depleted. It's going to need to relocate that. Probably here. And that's exactly what he does. Relocates it further up. I'm so surprised he's going for the deer though. Really am. Put a go there on the shorefish. So we'll perhaps look to go there a little bit later. Another lancer pops out. And take out a villager here on the stone. Does indeed get that kill. Lancer heads around the long way. Gonna cycle through. Going for the shorefish now, Demuslim. Lots of food income. The economy is certainly looking better for Demuslim, but he's losing villagers here now. Gonna lose... Oh, he doesn't quite miss... Misses one there. Might lose that lancer as well. 46 for Wam. 62 for Demuslim in terms of villagers. We hear the prayer tent. We hear the shaman out there picking up relics. Oh, the Khan might be lost here. I think the Khan might be lost here. Use the maneuver hour. Not sure if he'll be able to get away. He doesn't. The Khan dies. Lancers keep sweeping around. Oh, there's a knight there. The Muslim looking to try and get some value here. Looking to find those pocket ecos. A second town centre going here for Wam. That's a nice play. Going to be able to help reduce that. Well, not really reduce the gap, but stem the flow. Because, of course, the town centres for the French do produce a lot faster. So Wam going for a second town centre. He probably is aware that he can't finish this game off. Has to transition now. Maybe even needs to think about getting a third one. Doesn't quite have that wood income, though, to do so. Relics are being brought in, though. 2 of them. That's certainly going to help. 200 gold per minute there extra. Equivalent of 5 villagers. Don't forget, these villagers are being buffed as well. There are 12 of them. Count that as 18. So certainly he's behind on villagers, but not that much when you think about it. There's going to be an extra 6 here. An extra 5 because of the 2 relics. An extra 11 villagers. So effectively 62 versus 69. Oh, the lance is being caught out there for Wam. That's going to be costly. Lots of knights here for Demuslim. Demuslim looking strong, trying to get an outpost on the vision in the Stealth Forest, but that villager will go down. Outpost will not go up. Charman looking to get the perhaps the sacred site as well. Not a bad choice. Again, moving across the map with the Shaman as well on the left side. Looking to get those relics. The Muslim looking to be aggressive here with the knights. Obviously take advantage of the forward goal. The villagers do garrison inside. A couple of lancers there, but these knights may take this fight, and I wouldn't blame Demuslim for doing it because he's got the knight numbers advantage. Arrows doing a pretty decent job though from the outposts. One outpost will go down. There'll be a couple of dead villagers there if he's not careful there, Wam. Especially with the archers in behind. Knight numbers aren't be able to build up here. Ooh, the lancers cycling through, looking to do some damage on the archers. Gets a good charge with the knights there for Demuslim. Now looking to take out the second tower. The trouble for Wam is that he doesn't have gold income from the gold mining. Does have sprinkled in placement though. That is actually huge. The sprinkled placement will be able to do a lot of damage on these knights. Yeah, that is for sure. And once the knights are down for Demuslim, that's going to be a problem because the archers won't be able to fight effectively against these lancers. Lancers are still popping out though. And this is where the 2 relics are really, really key. There's still at least some gold income for the lancers to pop out with. Wam not trying not to take a head-on fight. Another outpost on fire. Wam trying to delay things as much as he can, but the lancer numbers are looking low for him. Of course, the eco not as strong. 54 villagers for Wam. 82 for Demuslim. Demuslim looking in an incredibly strong spot. Hard to see a way back here for Wam, but there have been worse situations. Another outpost goes down. Villagers will be dying here. Last thing that Wam would want. I think Wam needs to go to a gold out here somewhere. Looking to get another relic. Well, knight numbers are starting to dwindle though. Okay, lancers are sweeping up now. This is where Castle Age is paying a difference, and especially with the Springald outpost in placement. Another outpost going there. Needs to go back in gold here, Wam. Needs to get those knight numbers out, because he needs to do damage, that's for sure. And he needs to do damage fast. Only 2 relics, and I thought there was a shaman that went out on the left. Maybe died to the wolf. Not too sure. In any case, lancers are going to backtrack now, solidify the position. Outpost going up again. Villagers coming out to gold. Wam can breathe again, going out to the secondary gold as well. 55 villagers versus 88. Huge advantage here now coming out for Demuslim. The eco has been relatively untouched here for Demuslim for quite some time, enabling that full 2-town centre boom. And Wam seems to be in a tough spot. Quite a few lancers they're building up. 27 military to 10. So Demuslim certainly does have a lot of military on the field, looking to protect this front gold mine. Has got ram, archers, and knights. Looks like Demuslim looking quite keen to stay in the feudal age. He doesn't mind so much. He's aware of the strength of the French in the feudal age. But if Wam can develop a mass here of castle age units, that would be tough to stop. And I think if you're Demuslim, you kind of want to push now. Sure, you have an eco advantage, but you've got the inferior army in terms of quality, not in terms of quantity. Though he's certainly got the quantity. Villagers there, a lot of them going to go down there. Oh, the charge attack gets a good hit there, and there's probably not just enough space there in the outposts. Wam deciding not to stick around there for too long. Looking to snipe some villagers here, and these villagers will be dead. Another good number of villagers. The Khan has been killed, but Lucifer getting huge sorry, not Lucifer, Wam getting huge amounts of damage here. Lucifer will be playing in the other grand final, so that's probably why it's in my head, but it is actually Wam, of course, playing here. The Canadian looking to secure his position in the main event, Redbull Wololo Legacy. Oh, the Springald Towers doing great job on the Rams. The Rams won't survive for too long. The Lancer gets in as well. And the thing is, there's lots of archers here. The archers being sent forward without the knights. Where are the knights? Where are the knights for Demuslim? There's a couple of there, but I'm pretty sure he had more. He's probably trying to cycle through. Yeah, the knights got caught out. He tried to bite off too much he can chew, trying to be aggressive on the front line. This is a bit of it feels like a bit of a throw for Demuslim by his high standards. He kept his army separate. Knights was looking to try and take out the lancers that were running around his base, which is fine. And that did need to be done, but the archers went through, and now these guys get decimated by the lancers. A couple of the French Royal Knights feeding in though. One ram does get taken out for free. These 3 lancers will certainly take out the French Royal Knights. Again, Wam doing great with these lancers there, skirmishing out into the open. Getting villager picks left, right and centre. Let's take a look at the village count now. 64 for Wam, 97 for Demuslim. Quite an extensive lead. 14 there, add another 7 extra, plus the 2 relics. 7 plus 5 will be adding another relic there as well. An extra 12 villagers plus the other relic, which would be 2.5, so 14.5 villagers extra. So around about 15 villager gap there in total. Okay, it looks like Wam still trying to do damage with these lancers. Focusing on the mill now. 3 rams. This is a strong knight archer push. The Muslim looking to go in for the kill here in the feudal age. Wam just needs to build a critical mass of lancers though. If he can do that, then no matter what the army, he'll be able to take it. And Wam just needs to buy some time. He's actually moved his step out now. Let's just see where he's moved it, because that's going to be quite important and key. See where he's going for that gold. Looking to go for the secondary gold, but it has to send the villagers away. Not enough outposts there just yet. Ooh, that's not being dropped. Yeah, the drop-off point's not going there. That's not ideal. Spring of the placements need to come in that outpost. This gold is key. The fight for this gold is so important. And I suspect this is going to be the second location that Demuslim looks to push. But guys, this is a lot of numbers here. 13 lancers need to deny that outpost, and that looks like what's going to do. A lot of numbers there for the French. 17. Oh, it's a charge attack there. Wham looking to do some damage here. Has got some crossbows in behind as well. That crossbows are going to be doing great damage there. Obviously, the direct counter to the knights. Spring on placement. This is not a good fight for Demuslim, that's for sure. Getting spring on towers there. Take out the knights. Lancers here. Home advantage. Don't forget the production is quite close here. And this is a fight that you get the feeling that Wham's going to win this. He's got the better army. He's certainly got the better armies. Once the knights are down there for Demuslim, there'll only be the archers. Those archers will absolutely melt. Sprinkled in placements and these towers doing the damage. Demuslim losing everything. He could lose these 3 rounds as well. There are a couple of archers there still garrisoned inside the outpost, so that'll be helping him a little bit, at least delay things. The Lancers, if these guys get a wraparound, it will be GG for that army, but not GG in the whole game context, because the villager count still super healthy for Wham and Demuslim, both alike. A bit better there for Demuslim, of course. Demuslim gets to the castle age now. Fortunately, he's lost all his army though. You get the feeling that he needed to get that castle age and upgrades. If he had that army as castle age units, he would certainly have won that fight and possibly the game. But he's lost all his units now. 16 military for Wham, 14 for Demuslim. Of course, it's the castle age army that's in play here for Wham, getting the better of the fights. That sacred site has been captured, so lots of gold income for Wham, that's for sure. 3 sacred sites plus the 3 relics plus the sacred site. That's 400 gold per minute. That's an extra 10 villagers. Plus the step road out. 6 villages there. 16 villagers in total. Going for the other sacred site as well. Getting an outpost. I think the Muslim will want to pressure that. Wow, look just to take down those outposts. Moving forward with 12 lancers. Interested to see if the Muslim goes for some arbaletiere. Whether he sticks with the knights. Second overview depleted. Let's have that second sacred site now. With the 3 relics, 2 sacred sites, that's 500 gold per minute. Yeah, Lancer numbers are really starting to build up now. Wouldn't be surprised to see Wham put a stable or 2 here to double produce. Big fight here. Villagers are going to be going down. Lancers are getting good damage, but there are sprinkled emplacements in these outposts as well. Oh my god, the Muslims losing so many villagers here. That's going to be painful. Lancers, I don't think Wham minds here losing those Lancers with the amount of villagers killed. They're just going forward. Have they got a death wish or something? Lancers are charging in again. This is a big fight and it feels like Wham's going to take it. There are veteran Royal Knights though, but Lancers are such in huge numbers there. This is going to be a massive pushback for Wham. Certainly getting good value here. Villagers can't have enough space in the outposts. These Lancers will do a lot of damage. They might go down though. There are still 2 Lancers there doing damage on the gold. There are crossbows as well. Getting so much value here. Villager count now 92 for Wham, 93 for Demuslim. Wham pulling ahead. Not well, almost ahead, but putting it even on the villager count. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Not to be underestimated. Get the feeling things are swinging on the way of Wham. Got so many kills here, still getting them. Villagers here dying left, right and centre on the gold. This is a problem for Demuslim. Demuslim are hemorrhaging villagers. And I don't know if I hope he's got textiles. He does have textiles at least. Yeah, the Lancers have been taken care of. This is probably a time that Demuslim will want to push, because obviously a lot of army was sacrificed there. And now there's trebuchets on the field. And I think if you're Wham, you need to pressure this gold again. Building up the numbers now. Has been using a stone. Okay, really starting to heat up, guys. Now, just a word on what happened there. Demuslim went up with the Royal Institute. Means he looks to get royal bloodlines and the cheaper upgrades. Yeah, just taking out the outpost there. Wham, regaining control. Going for full Lancers here, more or less. That gold is still unprotected there. Demuslim hasn't put any more outposts. He's going to look to protect it with army, but this army doesn't look that strong. There are a couple of arbaletiere there, but you just get the feeling there's not enough. Especially if there's going to be some siege workshops coming down and mangonels. Pretty even on the military numbers. But eco-wise, still very neck and neck. A lot of villagers here to be had. Come on, Wham. If you want to win this game, that's got to be the point he's got to pressure. Mangonels will do good work against the Arbaletier and the archers, that's for sure. Trebuchet is starting to fire off on the outposts. That could be a big hint for Demuslim that pressure is going to come in. Looks like Demuslim's saving up for a keep. Should be able to get another keep though. It has got one already there. Making use of the French bonus for the cheaper archer range units and the stable units. Under the influence of the keep. And there comes the fight. A little bit of poke and prod there for Demuslim. Looks like Wam fancies his chances. Wants to kind of tease forward. There's a lot of villagers going into this gold mine. That gold will be taken off now. Completely exposed or run out. Mangonel firing off. Getting a hit there. Another Mangonel on the front line. Oh, the Mangonel's going to be firing off. The villagers coming forward, looking to try and take down the trebuchets. I'm not sure why these villagers are coming forward. They're going for a keep, but this is so aggressive. I don't know how I feel about that. If he doesn't win this fight, those villagers will be dead, and it looks like Wam is just going to focus down on the villagers now instead, and he doesn't mind too much, but that does leave his army exposed. Yeah, the crossbows are just heading back. They're going to go for the keep. Keep does look like it's going to go up, but at what cost? The Khan goes down. The knights go down as well for Demuslim. Only a couple left. The keep will go up now, and that's a strong position. Trebuchets need to get out of there. Securing that position on the sacred site. There are outposts there with sprinkled emplacements. And another crossbows retreat. We'll be taking off some knights though. Overall decent trade though for Wam. How's the trebuchet there? Already firing at the keep. And that's the key point because these crossbows are doing great work against the knights. Just get the feeling if there are a couple of lances coming in for Wam, that can do the business, but 31 military for Wam, 47 for Demuslim. Army looks stronger here for Demuslim, that's for sure. As against the attacker, but don't forget there is a Mangonel there. That Mangonel's going to do a lot of work against these ranged units. Ooh, just focusing on those three there rather than these Arbaletier. The Mangonel will be going down, you get the feeling, pretty soon. One trebuchet goes down. Mangonel might be able to get one more shot off. Doesn't quite manage it, and now the army looking strong for Demuslim. 17 military for Wam, 40 for Demuslim, double. Wam needs to kind of regroup here. Wam looking to be under a lot of pressure here. Muslim going even further out on the field for the gold. Siege Workshop will buy him some time, but this will go down. And looks like Wam is going to go for crossbowmen. Crossbows and lancers, still the army of choice here. A lot of pocket eco. Needs to be defended, that's for sure. Over looks to be the target here. And this is interesting because Demuslim attacking this position rather than the main base is actually giving some time for Wam to recover here and regroup. He needs to protect his gold position, that's what he's doing, and get the springboard in place in these outposts. Both players forced to move out now that a lot of the primary golds and secondary golds have been taken. They're now having to focus on tertiary golds. The new Khan rises, the OV will go down though. A lot of villages on gold there, 37. But that's another 15, 16, 17, 18 almost, 18 and a half villages there because of the separate out. So rather the economy does look better for, Wam. So the villagers lost there for that keep. I mean, was it worth it? He lost so many villagers there to Muslim. 114 villages for Wam, 74 for Demuslim. You get the feeling that that's what's going to be undoing Demuslim's position here, because now his economy won't be able to fund the army that he wants, and he's been spending a lot of time here taking out blacksmiths and ovus and whatnot when he could have been going for the juggler. Now Wam should be able to push this back, especially if he gives him more time to build up that army, convert that eco into army. That's a lot of villagers, ladies and gents. 116 to 77. It looks like the siege are coming on the field now. Mangonels primarily being built. That'll certainly do a lot of damage against the Arbaletier. Neither player ready to go to the Imperial Age course. 32 minutes on the clock almost. Villagers going to garrison on the gold, but again not too many, and these villages will go down, a lot of them. That's a huge problem. Gold gets depleted there. Well, I'm going to move those villages away. Now, this gold is going to be a little bit more safer. Lancers taking an engagement here for Wam. I think Wam probably gets the suspicion that he's ahead. Mangonel's going to retreat as well. Crossbows in behind. Lancer's joining in. This is going to be a big fight here. You get the feeling that Wam has better army composition, especially with the siege in behind. The Mangonels, we have to keep out the Arbaletria out of the way. And this is a good fight. And this is where the Muslim taps out. He calls it. He knows it's behind. Probably can't afford to take that fight. And Wam gets a win. Makes it 2-1. This is a way back into the series for Wam, that's for sure. Game number 4 will be next. Stick around. It's coming right up. Here we are, ladies and gents, game number 4 between this best of 7 show match. Not show match, it's the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy July finals. We're going to have Wam playing on the red on the west side of the map as the Abbasid Dynasty. And on the east side of the map, playing in blue as Demuslim, representing Team Liquid as the Abbasid Dynasty as well. It's the mirror match on the map Basin, which if you have not seen before, has a central sacred site. And also sacred sites on either side, and it looks a bit like a basin, obviously given the name. A couple of relics, mostly situated on the inside of the basin, but we do have 2 on the outer side, or 3 on the outer side as well actually. 1 relatively split between the 2 players, and 1 closer to either player itself. Pretty open on the front, often very hard to wall up, so should see a lot of early aggression, but we shall see with the Abbasid Dynasty because of course it's often the 2 town centre build. But with the Abbasid Dynasty mirror match, it's often a bit of a competition in terms of how many town centres you can get. The more the merrier, and it's often a bit of a fight towards how many town centres you can possibly get. We shall see how both players play this. This is going to be an interesting match, and it's a match that Wam will want to win here, playing in the red on the west side. Because of course if he doesn't, that will mean he'll go down 3-1 in this best of 7, and that won't be in a comfortable position, that's for sure. House of Wisdom is now up and running for Wam. No such thing yet for the Muslim though. Muslim looking to go is on wood earlier, slightly separate builds, slightly different builds. And here we are, the wood, the lumber camp going down for Wam now. I hope you guys are enjoying the set, and it'd be interesting to see how many of you have noticed the different camera angle. Certainly changing here, especially with the gradient of basin, it's really noticeable. And it's quite a nice viewing experience. Has a much wider angle. There is that House of Wisdom going up for Demuslim. Wam has clicked up to the next stage, so he will be in the feudal age quicker. Not yet going on stone. A lot of sheep coming in for Demuslim. 14 in total. That's actually pretty darn impressive. And Wam really not getting he's not really getting the sheep. Hasn't been able to get many. Don't know if it's a case of going 1 scout versus 2. We'll need to take a look at that. It is the 2 scouts there for Demuslim. Yep, and we can only see 1 scout at the moment. Well, Wam. That is the big difference, having 2 scouts versus 1. Sure, as the Abbasid Dynasty, you're looking to go for more the berries, but it's really important to get those sheep underneath the town centre. It's a very protected source of food, and it's about denying your opponents access to sheep as well, because look at that, that's a lot of them that the Muslim has. But it's doing a good strong point here, because if he does ever get pushed off his berries, well, he's always got the sheep to rely on. Villagers and gold now being pressured. Wam getting to the feudal age in just over 4 minutes. Muslim's going to be there up to about 4.5 minutes. Villager being pulled back for Wam. Neither player going into stone just yet. Looks like a stable going down for Wam. Wam looking to be aggressive here. Oh, is this a bit of an oversight? There's no fresh foodstuffs for Wam. Doesn't have the gold yet, just actually. He needs to deposit that gold and get that fresh foodstuffs. That's for sure. Wheelbarrow coming in. Prioritizing the wheelbarrow. And now has clicked fresh foodstuffs. Very important. Muslim just about to get to the next stage, and I think he'll be able to afford the fresh foodstuffs straight away. And that's key. So both players actually getting fresh foodstuffs at a relatively similar time. Despite Wham going up to the next stage a lot earlier. Okay, those are the villages on stone. Does look like Wham gonna aim for the second town center. Gets the stable out though. Gonna go straight forward with that horseman. Yep. The Muslim going for the stone as well. So looks like certainly gonna be a town center fight in terms of who can get more. Not a lot going on. 23 population for both players. Well, actually 25 for Wham. Wham looking just to harass those villagers on stone. Should be able to do a little bit of harassment, but there is the town center firing actually. It's in range. The stable there for Demuslim. Gonna get some horsemen out as well. The wolves are on the chase. A decent number of horsemen left Wham, chasing those horsemen back for Demuslim. Demuslim has the stone he needs to get to that second town centre. Keeping 3 villages on stone though, maybe for some arrow slits and placements, maybe looking for that third town centre eventually. Wham doesn't quite have that stone enough for the... It actually has a second town centre going up, keeping 8 villages on stone for that third town centre. So Wham committing to that third town centre. Muslim just sticking with the 2 so far. Okay, second town centre is now up and running for Wham. Doesn't quite have the wood for that third one though. I do prefer Wham's position, but it does need to make sure that it doesn't get caught out in terms of military numbers. Of course, the third town centre investment. He's just got less resources into army. At least in the initial phase, it takes a bit of time for those extra villages to pay back. Now the army for Wham does have to backtrack, getting chased down by the horsemen from Demuslim. It might be the case as well with Demuslim, if he does stick on 2 town centres for a relatively long period of time, he might be able to afford the castle age quicker. Yeah, Wham hasn't actually been able to get that third town centre up and running yet. He is getting it now though on the right side, near the stone, deer and wood. A nice spot there, but relatively far away from his other town centres. The Wham's army really does have to pull back now. Numbers are building up for Demuslim. As you can see, Demuslim is focusing on the berries, of course, as you would with the Abbasids. He has a lot of sheep left. Of course, it's not going to play a role now, but that sheep can be important. It may delay the farming transition, which could be a very critical point in this game, that farming transition. Golden tier, age 1 is there for Wham. Wham needs to be careful not to lose a villager from the horseman. Hasn't noticed yet. It looks like Demuslim just dancing around there. There's the stone for the third town centre for Demuslim. Needs the wood though. Only a little bit. Has enough wood now for the third town centre. We shall see if he decides to go for a third town centre to mash as well. Looking at to focus on the forward berries, and this is where the issue is. If Wham had a lot more sheep, he'd be a lot more comfortable taking food there. He has technically gone out to the deer patches anyway, so that's okay. There's that third town centre going on the berries and the gold in a forward position. Quite nice there to secure that position. Actually secures quite a lot. 2 golds there. Army starting to pop out there for Wham. Muslim has a lot of food floating. He has a couple more villages on gold. Could even in fact think about going for the castle age, and I suspect these villages will go to gold once they've built the town centre. At least that'd be a nice way to get to the castle age. Triple stable. Blacksmith going down. Camel Archers going to be popping out as well. Of course, Camel Archers are going to be hugely strong. They have bonus damage versus spears, but they also cause enemy cavalry to do less damage, so that would be important for the fight. Looks like a fight might be happening. Nope, they back off. There's that camel archer. Looks like Wam waiting for that. 3 horsemen chasing. I'm not too sure why. That's not a good fight, but those 3 horsemen are going to be taken apart. There is the archer range, yeah. This camel archer is coming out for Demuslim, so as you'd expect in a mirror match, kind of mirroring each other quite well. 50 villagers for Wam, 47 for Demuslim, not too far behind. Outpost going on the berry patch on the west side as well. Interesting match so far. Could get spicy here. Okay, the back off. Don't take a huge engagement. Both players are still playing it quite tentatively. Like it's very much a horseman play here. 2 camel archers there for Wam. Just the 1 there for Demuslim. Bit of dancing here in the middle of the basin. Not a lot else going on. Take a look at the upgrades. So Wam has got wheelbarrow. The Muslim, I'm sure, probably has wheelbarrow as well. Let's just see. Yep, get confirmation of that. That is indeed the case. A bit of dancing here. The Muslim looking to charge. Wam not happy about that. He wants to back off. Oh, there's a villager being sent forward. No double broad axe for the Muslim. Wam doesn't have it either. 29 military for Wam, 35 for Demuslim. Demuslim really peeling ahead there. Wam notices in time, he peels back. Now takes a head-on engagement. I'm not sure he has the numbers here. He takes the fight in any case, and Wam looking to get a good fight here. He's got 2 camel archers, but so does Demuslim. This is going to be a pivotal fight, you feel. This could change the fight of the game, because this could snowball from here. Whoever wins this fight, looks like the defender's advantage seems to just be in the favour of Demuslim. In fact, he's not defending. It's the fight is happening closer to Wam, but for some reason, numbers here seem to be in favour of Demuslim, but he pulls back. Wam with 20 horsemen versus 16, so the numbers actually are better for Wam there. The defender's advantage did really play a impact there. Wam able to replenish. Now with more horsemen in the mix for Demuslim, taking a fight here. Muslim looking to get some home advantage here with the horsemen adding in now. From those stables, a couple of horsemen coming in for Wam though, 4 more to the mix. Oh, there's a bit of a massacre there. Wam leaves with 15 horsemen. The Muslim with 20. Wam certainly has the gold for the castle age. Could think about idling his town centres. Possibly idling the production of horsemen now to get to that next stage. Things have really calmed down now. We shall see how how calm they stay. A couple of outposts going on the front line. Those barriers are relatively exposed. "27 horsemen going there for Demuslim. Versus the 26 for Wam. Relatively even Stevens there. There is that age up gong there for Wam. Goes up with the culture wing. It looks like he'll be able to go for the preservation of knowledge, reducing the cost of all technologies by 30%. But we shall see, because the Muslim looks like he's going to be on his way there relatively soon as well. Needs a bit more gold, and then we'll be able to go there. We should see if that delay in time will affect the game too much. Probably won't. It's not a huge amount of time. But the upgrades will be there in there for Wam quicker. Well, I say that, but the Muslim has he? Wait, what? Yeah, he has clicked up. He has clicked up. Just doesn't show on the overlay there. Oh, it is there now. Bit of a bug there, I think. Spectator UI bug there. Be interesting to see what the players do in terms of army composition from here. Whether it's just full force horsemen or any changes to the mix. Farming economy here now. Wham! This is an issue. As we can see, the sheep's still there running nicely for Demuslim. The farming economy is a lot. As you can see, there's not many farms. It's just been able to delay it for a lot longer. That's a lot of wood investment that Wam is having to put in here. Looks to be taking a big fight here. Not sure Wam wants to take this fight just now. He'll be able to get into the castle stage quicker. He'll be able to get the upgrades quicker. This is to hold off. There are a couple of spearmen there for Demuslim actually. This is a very nice inclusion to the army. The spearmen could do a lot of work. Villagers there on the front line. Underneath the outpost will be harassed there. There's the castle age for Wam. Wam going to be queuing up some upgrades, no doubt. There's the veterancy to the camel archers, veterancy to the horsemen. Outpost on the front line will be going down. 93 villagers for Wam, 93 for Demuslim, but Wam is losing villagers here. Yeah, Wam just waiting for those upgrades. Demuslim now gets to the castle age himself, and will be going for the veterancy to his spearmen and also horsemen. I feel like I prefer certainly the army composition that Demuslim's going. The camel archers are just a little bit too expensive. There are a couple of lancers there in the mix now. It looks like Wam wants to take a fight. He's going to take a fight whilst the veterancy is coming in. About to come in at the right time. Going to click in now. There's the upgrades. It's such a nice time to take fights here when you have the veterancy. And there it is. Wam notices the veterancy and now he takes the fight. This is a huge fight, but Demuslim does have spears and that could do a lot of work. I get the feeling the veterancy will be a big impact, especially with the defender's advantage and the couple of lancers that are there, but don't forget the spearmen that were there for Demuslim. Demuslim seems very happy to take this fight, and I think it's because of the spearmen. The spearmen are doing so much work here, they don't mind about the veterancy. This is a fight that Demuslim looks to be winning here. Wam under pressure, losing a lot here. Camel archers are there, they're going to do good work against the spearmen, but look at the villager idle time this is creating. 20 villagers are idle here, absolutely zero are idle for Demuslim, and look at the population now, really starting to dwindle. 105 economy for Demuslim versus 91. 15 military versus 40. Muslim really piling on the pressure here. The spearmen did huge amounts of work. The veterancy is now in, and now there's a lot of idle time being caused there. Despite the camel archers, they are going down. Look at the idle time being caused here. That is the key issue. It means that resources won't be able to be put into army for Wam, but there will be for Demuslim. Spearmen, a really nice addition to the army composition. I certainly prefer it. Horsemen and spearmen certainly can get the numbers out there compared to the army composition of horsemen and camel archers. Camel archers can be really expensive, well they are really expensive, difficult to mass up, especially with a close quarter engagement like that. The melee kind of engagement, you definitely want the spears. A couple of archers there for Demuslim as well, and Demuslim's going to pull back, probably feeling like he's ahead, and he'd be right if he thinks that. 88-9 villagers for Wam, 113 for Demuslim. Muslim has the upper hand in terms of military numbers as well. Wam looking to wall up this western side, get some security, get a keep there on the front there of his base, take those farms. That's going to buy him some time, but we shall see, because the Muslims probably going to be coming back with a bigger force. Righty, things have calmed down now. I think it's just maybe the calm before the storm. The Muslim will need some siege now to take care of that keep. Well, I'm looking to get some upgrades here, horticulture as well as decarbonation. And look at those upgrades coming in for Demuslim, a lot of them. Some of them eco, some of them military, a lot of them eco. Horticulture, double broad axe, specialized pick. He's getting them all. And that's going to be huge for his economy, which already is in the lead. Okay, there is the huge farming economy here. There's a huge transition. Holy smokes, that's a lot of farming economy. Wam has some farms, but definitely not as many. I think the Muslim really looking strong in the economy here. paid for by 125 villagers. 25 villagers lead. Now looking to stonewall the map on the right side. Again, to try and protect that economy. The Muslim is floating a lot of wood, despite all those farming. A lot of farms. Does have a siege workshop. Looks like Demuslim is going to focus on the castle age. Get some siege out there and push him ahead. That wood certainly will be helpful. May need to get a market to balance the economy. Doesn't quite have enough gold that you would want. Stonewall slowly going up. One little segment there that's not done yet. Right, let's take a look at the armor composition. Primarily spearmen, horsemen, a couple of camel archers. Yep, the Muslim looking to really stonewall everything here. And I like this little touch how he's stonewalling on the other side of the wood line. Doesn't want to risk an overchop and have to worry about that later. Also, we'll have access to that sacred site. The Muslim completely population blocked here. 50 population behind his Wam. That's actually quite huge. Now, the Muslim can probably feel free to push on ahead now with his military. He won't mind. He is population blocked. Look at the economy, the gold, the food, the wood income. Absolutely insane here. He's going to try and do some damage on the west side. Only Palisades defending it. Palisades will be taken care of quite quickly. We didn't just cycle around here, but there is the TC, and there's a keep there we'd have to contend with. We see some trebuchets. Another, or one more keep. That was the initial keep going there for the Muslim. Looking just to protect that forward gold. Doesn't appear there are any trebuchets on the field just yet. There's the army for the Muslim. His population cap, so could perhaps think about getting a market and selling some food for that Imperial Age. Needs some gold to do that though. It's just going to siege down this primary town centre. It just feels like Wam can't do much about it. His army not in position here. Town centre's going to go down. This is a problem. Wam not fully walled up. Farming economy going to be idled here. Just feels like the Muslim being the first to attack here is going to be paying off a lot there. Yeah, the villagers being taken down. We're going to get a gate here, but those villagers will be taken down. The Muslim is ready to go to the Imperial Age. Wam, absolutely nowhere near. Wam still only on 171 population. The Muslims macro on point here, translating it into army, military, and now. The thing is that Wam does have a lot of man-at-arms. Man-at-arms, that probably explains quite a lot, because man-at-arms are a lot more expensive. Relic being picked up by Wam, but Monk gets sniped. Key decisive fight here. The man-at-arms doing great work for Wam. Going to be clearing a lot of that armed military up. But the spearmen just causing so much idle time here. And the Muslim won't mind losing units because he is population blocked. Ooh, I'm trying to get some gold on the map here on the front. There are so many idle villages here for Wam. Switching to barracks. Getting more barracks. Looks like it's going to be man-at-arms play here. We'll see how long he commits to that. Okay, Wam with 62 army. Starting to head forward now, looking to take an engagement. Now that he's reaching 200 population almost. Trebuchet is on the field for the Muslim. Couple of lances there in the mix though for Wam. Not sure how I feel about that because there are crossbows on the field. There is the Imperial Age for the Muslim. Look at the resources though. Can still keep spamming them. But Wam, nowhere near that Imperial Age. Not even clicked up. Actually, I say that the resources are heading that direction, but once he spends those resources, he's not going to have much in the bank. The Muslim, on the other hand, has 3k food, 2k almost, 1k of wood. Looking strong. Camel Archer is looking to do some damage, but gets sniped by the crossbows, and you just get the feeling that the Muslims taking a better trade here. 61 versus 43. Wam does have a lot of military on the field though. The Mangonel is certainly going to be helpful here. Alright, big fight there, and it feels like Wam is going to win that fight, and that's the issue for Demu. The Muslim's going to need to, actually he's going to push forward. The home advantage is really paying off, actually. The camel launcher is melting, absolutely, and that's going to be bad. The Mangonel might be able to get a good hit there. It does get a decent hit, but still not enough to take that out, and the Mangonel might go down to the Horseman. I'm not sure, actually. The Mangonel should survive. That's a lot of army influx there for Wam. Wam going to push us back. Man at Arms there as well. I think the Man at Arms going to sweep up. Mangonel does go down in the end to the Elite Horseman. Of course, this is Imperial Age versus Castle Age units, and so you get the feeling the Muslims looking in a strong position. Wam needs to get to the next stage, but doesn't have the food to do so. That's a big problem. Actually, he's going to the next stage now without... Yeah, he's going to the next stage. Just realised, of course, military wing is coming into play, but once he does get there, we'll be struggling on resources to, wow, okay, there's a keep going there for the Muslim. It should just about go up. There's a spring on replacement in that outpost. That gold will be denied. That's actually rather important because now the Muslim can go for that gold. He's going to take that out. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a raiding here with the Elite Horseman on the right side. That's going to be tough to deal with as an Elite Horseman, don't forget. Of course, they've got the Imperial Age upgrades, and now Wam's going to be facing a lot of trouble there on the west side. Not a lot he can push himself. Lots of keeps on the field for the Muslim, slowly but methodical. Horseman on the front line, going down for Wam, taking a terrible fight there. Two trebuchets as well as culverins. That Imperial Age uptime for the Muslim being so much earlier is so key. Cannot idle a lot of the economy now. Villagers have been pulled away from those farms. There is an army there for Wam, looking to try and clear that out. But it's a slow methodical push by the Muslim. Backed up with keeps. There is the New Age. There's the Imperial Age for Wam. Slowly but surely, the Muslim pushing on the south side, taking the outpost down with the trebuchets. Again, the Horsemen just idling so much economy. Going to be taking some villages here, and then moving on to the next exploits. Oh, actually going to take some hits with the Spearmen. That's not a fight they want to take. They do back off, but again, the important bit here is that the Muslim, with just a couple of Horsemen, not huge amounts, is taking all of this army away from the front lines, chasing in the base. Another outpost goes down. Siege going to move forward. Because of Wam's army being split into two, they're going to be taking a fight here unfavorably. The man-at-arms will be melting to the crossbows. There is a Mangonel. That Mangonel will be absolutely sniped by the Horseman. There's a massive raid on the front forward wood line. That's going to be a problem. Spearmen are coming back though for Wam to join the fight, but the Arbitrator, the ranged army, is really looking strong here for the Muslim. The Muslim charging background. I'm not sure actually this fight can take. There's a lot of Spearmen involved there, especially with the Mangonel, and hand cannoneers is what Wam is heading in towards. Looking strong. Quite a lot of siege there. Two trebuchets. Get the feeling though, if the Muslim can take one good fight, that would be key. He's got a lot of food, a lot of gold in play. Wham, getting to that population cap almost. The Muslim has been there for a while. And there is that fight that's been taken. Horsemen charging in to the Spearmen. I don't know how I feel about that, but there's still a lot of crossbows. Horsemen looking to try and dive and take out the trebuchets. I don't think he'll manage it fighting underneath the keep. That's not a position he'll want to be in, and again, the Muslim fighting. Horsemen against Spearmen. Those Spearmen will shred those Horsemen. Elite Spearmen they are. Trebuchet's going to head back a little bit. A lot of Mangonels on the field, 3 of them. Spearmen shredding here for the Muslim. Oh wow, lots of Horsemen do go down for Wham. That's the problem, because now Wham's Mangonels are completely exposed. The Horsemen for the Muslim going to take them out. The Muslim looking strong now, pushing with the army again. Population down to 159 for Wham. 200 for the Muslim. The Muslim completely capped. He's got the resources to spend. He's getting another forward keep. That's going to be a fantastic position to fire and shoot from and fight from. Yeah, look at the just flood of army from the Muslim. The production capability is incredible. We look back here, the production buildings must be huge in numbers, and they are indeed. Back on the front line. Wham not able to mass up here. That keep will certainly go up. Going to deny that forward wood line. Relics are being picked up. There is that sacred site taken for Wham as well, but of course the Muslim's taking his one. The army pushing forward now. The Muslim may be saving up for another keep even. But the Muslim taking a fight underneath his opponent's keep. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not the most cost-effective fight, but he won't mind. He is pop capped, so 146 village population to 200. That's an issue for Wham, that's for sure. think the Muslim feels that the momentum is certainly in his favour, and now the trebuchets can move forward under the protection of the keeps. Production build is going down for Wam. That's going to be an issue. That production building is obviously no units. Wam looking to be struggling here. Game number 4, the Muslim looking in a strong position to take this 4th game. Yeah, village count not too bad for Wam. Just doesn't have the resources banked up to be able to produce from. Losing production buildings as well. 2 trebuchets. Now looking to start focus firing on that keep. That keep goes down. That's probably going to be GG. Holy smokes, another keep going down for Demuslim. We spoke about it earlier, how it looked like it was close to getting another keep. And it's going to go for that gold. And that gold position, if that's denied, that's going to be huge. A lot of villagers there going to be idled or taken out. And that is a problem for Wam, that's for sure. He needs to address that problem sooner rather than later. The army now going towards that building keep to protect those villagers. A couple of lancers are on the field as well. Elite lancers is the play for Demuslim. The keep goes up. Going to be denying that gold. And again, kind of strangulation here by these keeps going forward. Villagers going down, a lot of villagers going down. Wam not reacting, Wam not taking these villagers out. Don't know if he hasn't noticed it, but he's only 104 villagers now versus 137. Things going from bad to worse for Wam. I think Wam feels like he's going to be falling it soon. Going to lose this keep if he's not careful as well. There are trebuchets, no real stone income for Wam to kind of repair this. Once that keep goes down, the eco is going to be fully exposed. Fighting it underneath the keep there for Demuslim, and that's not a problem for Demuslim. It certainly is a problem for Wam. Wam losing the units here is going to be dwindling on economy and military. 13 military for Wam, 63 for Demuslim. This game looks like it's going on one direction and one direction only. We're focusing on the north, but let's check the south. Raiding has been happening here for a long period of time. Lots of villagers going down. No villagers on these farms. Empty farms. And that keep goes down on the front lines, and now the Muslims can just raid to death, has free and safe access to gold. Well, I'm trying to hold on, but he's just struggled to find a way back for him. Woodland's going to be harassed here as well before too long. Horsemen flooding in, just 100 population for Wam. Maintains himself at 200 here to Muslim. With a food and gold income, looking strong, pushing forward. Got the army composition he needs up. The crossbows taking out the villagers on the woodline as well. It's only now that Wam realizes, but it's probably a little bit too little too late. Horseman diving in on the left side, then raiding his opponent to death. Wam struggling here. Going to be getting stables here. Maybe looking to go for a landmark snipe, but I'd be too little too late because he is struggling on food. He doesn't actually have any food hardly. Spending what he has. 2 trebuchets there now, starting to make work on the production buildings here on the south of the map. Yeah, there's constant raiding here. It's a huge problem. The woodline will be next once these units go down, and that's it. Wam calls it 3-1 to Demuslim. Demuslim pulls ahead, and Wam struggling in this best of 7. He needs a response now. It will be match point in game number 5. Demuslim wins that. He will be through with the golden ticket. We shall see if Wam can come up with a response. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 5 in this best of 7 between Demuslim and Wam, the winner of whom will be booking their place to the main event, the Redbull Wololo Legacy, I believe in October, in Germany, Castle Heidelberg. Northeast corner of the map, we've got Wam playing in red as the Holy Roman Empire, and on the southwest corner of the map, in blue, representing Team Liquid, is Demuslim playing as the Mongols. Now, Demuslim is now 3-1 ahead in this series. If he wins this game, he will be booking his ticket to Germany. He will be your champion if he does win this game. But Wam will certainly have something to say about that, playing as the Holy Roman Empire in the north corner of the map. The map being Lipany. Wam bringing out the Holy Roman Empire, probably one of the strongest civilizations on the current patch. And facing up against the Mongols, which is often considered one of the strongest civs in previous patches, but on this particular patch, not so much. Probably one of the weak ones considering the updates and changes that have been made. With the town centre being close to the woodline and next to the Ovu, is a nice spot there for Demuslim, but we'll need to keep an eye on where his gold is, because it does look like that's going to be relatively far out. That's probably the gold that he's going to aim to get. Of course, with the Mongols, going to go for a outpost rush, I suspect, with the barracks going up. That's got to be a way to deny the fast castle build that's been happening with the Holy Roman Empire quite commonly now, since this new patch has been released. The Muslim will want to see this one out. If he can win this game, that will be enough to book his spot. Wow, I'm getting quite a lot of sheep there. Let's just see if he went for 2 scouts. He did go for 2 scouts. The Muslim opting for the 2 scouts as well. Well, being the Mongols against the Khan rather, so 1 scout, 1 Khan. Let's take a look at the map, because this is actually relatively nicely wallable. Oh, Wam across the edges, that's for sure. And the centre is relatively open though, has to be said, but can be walling off with the wood lines. So actually it's not that open. This is actually a relatively closed map for Lipany as it happens, specifically for Wam. Where are the spearmen going forward? Where's the villagers? They're going for the outpost. Scout will spot those 2 spearmen coming forward. There are 2 villagers being sent by Demuslim. Now the issue is, it's kind of similar to one of the earlier games in the set, is that both wood lines are forward for Wam, and that's actually terrible. He does have this wood line he can rely on the back of his base, and this one as well, relatively small, but both of his wood lines are forward. The ones that are closest to his base, his primary and secondary one, that's a problem. The Muslim looking just to kind of harass the villagers on gold, try to deny that age up quickly. Go for the Ark and Chapel there. Interesting how he hasn't put that Ark and Chapel on a drop-off point. Maybe making sure that he's just going to try and make sure he gets the influence of the gold, the berries, and the deer. And the sheep underneath the town centre, rather. Okay, quite a few spearmen heading through. Now, it looks like the Muslim is looking to outpost that gold specifically. Doesn't want that castle age uptime, and this is actually really strong. 2 spearmen here looking to protect. There are a couple of scouts there, but Wam won't be able to push that. Not yet, anyway. Not with the Khan and 2 spearmen. And I suspect more spearmen might be heading towards that way. Let's just see if that is indeed the case. That is indeed the case, and more as well. 6 in total going forward. And maybe looking to get the raiding bonus as well from the mining camp. Ark and Chapel is going up. Villagers being sent by Wam. Looking to try and deny that. The outpost will be pushed back. But once those spearmen come up, looks like they can try and siege down the outpost. Probably will be able to manage it, but okay, the Muslim just deletes that. The spearmen are heading forward again as well. Oh, he deletes it, but then starts building it again. Rather curious. In any case, spearmen will be able to do a lot of work on the scout. Scout gets pulled back, prelate healing it up. That's the issue. That's the difference here, really. You feel the prelate. Oh, spearmen getting a lot of damage there from the town centre. That's a bit of an issue. Villagers being pulled back, kept alive by the Muslim. The villagers will be being attacked. Prelate, 2 prelates here healing up. So Wam doing good as a defense here. Outpost gets deleted and rebuilt here. But 2 prelates not enough on their own. Needs military there. Oh, Wam. Okay. The Muslim deletes that. Let's go for the outpost a little bit further forward. We see any more spearmen coming forward. Yep, 1 more spearman coming forward. Villagers are on gold now. Or going there for the Muslim. Getting 4 off them there. We'll need to look to get up to the next stage as soon as we can. Did get the raiding bonus. Actually, no, he didn't get the raiding bonus because the emergency repairs comes in. Outpost should go up, and that would be a key and important position to be able to deny that gold. The villager gets pulled back there, the villager that was weak. The other villager may need to be pulled back as well. Continues to build. Will the outpost go up? Oh, I think... Yeah, geez, that was so close, guys. The outpost does go up. Villager gets garrisoned in. That was a huge clutch moment for this game. This series, that could be the difference here. In this game, that outpost going up, now that gold is denied, and that gold denied as well. 2 golds being denied. That is huge here. Wam is struggling in his position. Doesn't have a safe gold to take. 3rd gold. All 3 golds being denied here by this one outpost. That is huge. No castlage coming in. Went up with the Ark and Chapel as well. Kind of useless here. Ark and Chapel is actually being totally useless. Not buffing any villagers on the berries or on the town centre. Seen a similar sort of situation for Marine Lord in a previous game. Marine Lord was playing the Holy Roman Empire, and in fact he went up with the Minework Palace to be able to get those rams out early. The cheaper technology, siege engineering. But the Muslim looking strong to get a 2nd outpost now. Doesn't look like... Has he clicked up to the next stage? I believe he must have by now. Not sure where the deer stones is though. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Deer stones being built with 6 villagers. Quite a lot there. Outpost being rushed down. We'll be looking to take some of the archers down, but the prelate looking to heal up. And that's an issue. So there's a lot of villages, a lot of idle time. The Muslim will lose that outpost and kind of deletes that outpost. Going to run away with the villagers. Oh, Wam sees that. He does indeed see that. So that villager will be hunted down. Outpost rush all but over, but behind this, the Muslim will be looking to get the feudal age, maybe in the castle age as well. Going to be building a stable, looking to get some horsemen on the field. Pretty standard play here, all things considered. Has denied the god for a significant period of time. Wam isn't going to be able to get the castle age soon, so that's a huge bit of play there. Stable going down for Wam as well. Stable, horseman archers to play for Wam. The Muslim going to pull back with his army, kind of has to at this point. So very heated exchange at the beginning of the game, with outpost rushing being the play here for the Mongols, and then being pushed back here by the Holy Roman Empire, played by Wam. And we'll see now, it's going to be a race to the castle age. You get the feeling that Wam should have a decent opportunity to get there quicker, especially because of the Ark and Chapel. Couple of villages there idle for the Muslim. That is less than ideal. And 3 villagers forward again, maybe for another outpost. We shall see. Lots of units coming forward. Maybe look to outpost the wood line this time. We shall see. We shall see. Alright, economy flowing now. Getting some outposts on the gold. Needs to protect that position. Would have been nice to have seen some walls as well, but those walls haven't happened, and now the army will start to go in. 3 villagers going forward as well. Looks like it's going to be an outpost on the woodline. As we anticipated, the wood is relatively exposed for Wam. Could become a problem. Just feels like there's no way of denying that. In fact, I don't think he even sees it. That's part of the problem. Yeah, it doesn't see that. That's huge. Okay, Wam looking just to cycle through with his horsemen on the back line, trying to push this gold position. But there is a spearman there. The spearman takes out that horseman. That's actually very, very important for the Muslim. Now it can continue to mine that gold safely, looking to get enough gold for that castle age. Outpost goes up. We'll be getting arrow slits as well, so that's key to note. Obviously with the Ovu constantly generating that stone, does need to be mining that gold, which he is indeed already, and arrow slits will be huge here. Going to cycle down the west side as well. That would be massive. There are a couple of archers there that might be able to snipe the villagers, but the archers don't go there, and that's relatively unlucky for Wam not spotting that out. Arrow slits coming in very soon. Only 5 seconds away. This position being defended very nicely by Demuslim. Going to garrison inside the outpost as well. Oh, it's focusing on the lumber camp though, rather strangely enough. Villagers being pushed away for that wood line. That is huge. But Wam's going to have to go all the way out there on the west side for that wood. Not going to get any other way. Does lose a horseman there to Muslim. Quite a few archers. Again, this wood line being denied too. Let's just see where it does go with that wood. No villagers on wood just at the moment. Wam needs to get some wood. Especially seeing his transition to farms. Looks like the Muslim is really committing to the feudal age. Not looking to the castle age actually in this stage. Certainly looking to double down the feudal age. Knows that he's getting some value already. Villagers garrisoning in that outpost, in the town centre rather. He's getting arrow slits in here as well. Can't quite. Yeah, he's getting arrow slits at both these outposts as well. That's going to be a huge strong starting position. There is horsemen on the berries. They all go down. The prelate healing up the villagers. So Wam shouldn't be losing any villagers there. Outpost looking to be put up there, but there are 2 archers looking to harass those villagers. Horseman looking to push through. There's a Khan as well. Will he be able to get that outpost up? That's actually a very key spot. Horseman going to dive in a little bit underneath the town centre. Will be dying. Does pick off an archer though. On the right side there's a horseman trying to siege down the outpost. That is less than optimum play. 2 horsemen go down on that. Khan has been killed. There is an outpost there on the gold though. Well, villagers might go down. 1 goes down. Will he be get the outpost up? Possibly. Will he make it in time? Yeah, just about makes it in time. And garrisons inside, so that villager stays alive. Horseman going to garrison in as well. Now, that is a strong position to be in. It looks like Wam looking to get to the castle age soon. It'll be interesting to see if he goes with the Burggraf Palace or the Regnitz Cathedral. Oh, villagers being drawn away from the berries there quite extensively. Wow, I'm looking to get an outpost there on the west side, looking to secure that relic site. That relic and also the sacred site. It will be the Burger Palace. I think Wam recognizes he's under a lot of pressure and needs to push this back. Villager from Demuslim might get sniped by Wams. I'm gonna stab him to death. It was just one fatal blow, one stab to the head. And Wam's villager kills Demuslim's. And Demuslim keeping his army active very nicely there. Sees the Burger Palace, probably looking to maybe go to the castle age himself. Has enough gold. He doesn't quite have enough food yet. Does look to be getting there. Got a few pastures there. Burger Palace almost there. Looking to harass his villagers and berries. Might be able to pick off one of them. There are a couple of archers there as well though. Villagers are fighting. Okay, Burger Palace has been built. There's the castle age going to be coming in for Demuslim as well. Let's just see. It must be the step redoubt you'd expect. It is indeed going to be the step redoubt. Okay, Burger Palace being built. Man-at-arms starting to come out. Demuslim's going to have to be careful here. We'll need to look to get some crossbows once he does get to the castle age. But will the Burger Palace be able to do some damage in the meantime? Wham is going forward now with those units. Maybe there's a bit of a sneak attack. Actually going to look to try and take out the outpost first. So Demuslim, the key issue here is outposts have bought Demuslim so much time. So much time. Meaning that he'll be able to get to the castle age himself. And then push on from there. Very nicely played by Demuslim so far. Sacred site looking to be taken now on the west side. Does have the relic in the outpost immediately banked there, so it'll be 100 gold per minute. There's the castle age. What will we see coming out for the Mongols? No archery range of yet. Outpost will be taken down by Wam. The Muslim's got good value though. Sacred site has been taken on the west side. Or Wam. Prayer tent. Looks like the Muslim's looking to contest the relics, get some relics of his own, but he needs a counter to these man-at-arms. Looks like Wam's going to try and take out the outpost first and then push forward. Kind of missing an opportunity, a window, to be able to attack his opponent with man-at-arms. Especially when his opponent doesn't have any counters just yet. We will have them soon though, being in the castle age. Outpost will go up. Relic being taken. I think the prelate probably will be taken out. Yeah. Let's take a look at the village count. 35 for Wam, 42 for Demuslim. Of course, the early aggression making Wam struggle on that front. Well, there are a lot of man-at-arms there. I suspect the play here for the Mongols will be the cavalry. Have the faster movement speed, can dictate the fights as he wishes, as you can see right here. Quite a hard transition there for Wam to farming economy. As we said, the wood is being taken there. That's expected. Just one outpost remains. Oh, a big bit of fight there. Man-at-arms doing great work here. Get the feeling that Demuslim really needs to transition to crossbows. Be able to deal with this onslaught. Relics being picked up, but immediately dropped there for Demuslim. Too many men-at-arms. Man-at-arms looking to siege down that forward tower as well. There's actually spring order placement in that one. Wow, I'm looking to fight underneath the tower. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Quite a few weak man-at-arms there, but looks like the tower will go down. Sacred site on the south being taken by Demuslim, getting an outpost there as well. Nice touch. We'll want that gold income, that's for sure. Outpost will be taken down by the man-at-arms. Of course, the mobility is on the favour of the cavalry. But Demuslim needs to be careful. He needs to probably think about getting some static defences around his base. Some outposts of his own, because these French units going for, so the Holy Roman Empire going forward, could become a really big problem. Relic being brought back. One relic in for the Mongols so far. I don't believe I see a monastery for the Holy Roman Empire. Man-at-arms being pushed back. I'm not entirely sure why. It feels like Wam's playing this a little bit passive than he would usually do. As you can see, Lancers coming out. And now it looks like Wam's looking towards this central area. There's a lot of man-at-arms, ladies and gents. Lancers from the Mongols going around the north corner, looking to see some damage, get some villager snipes if he can. Going to charge in right now. Will the Wam react? He does indeed react. Probably not quick enough, he loses one. And the amount of idle time this is causing is pretty immense. Okay, Belgrade Palace is still producing. Demuslim has quite a lot of food and gold just left there in his base, in his bank. I have to consider where he's thinking about the Imperial Age or not. Could be a possibility eventually. He's spending quite a lot. Oh, wooden walls going there for Wam. Oh, manages to keep the knights in. As we said, quite clear, easy wallable area for this map for Wam. Didn't manage to do it early enough, of course, coming up against the French, very fast uptime. And now that he's got walls up, he's got a decent shot in this game. We shall see how aggressive Demuslim decides to be. Thinking for Demuslim here, probably see he can't get much value. Might be worth going to the Castle Age, maybe even just being all in then. One of the two options seems relatively viable. Looks like it's going to be Castle Age all in, because we can hear that Belgrade Palace producing like no other. West side sacred site looking to be decapped. Rather surprising that this outpost is not firing. Needs to garrison something in there, I think. Again, Lancers still running riot in the base of Wam. The Muslim gonna cycle through with those couple of Lancers, trying to get some damage done, but he's got some spearmen in hot pursuit. Left side of sacred site has been taken by Wam. Looks like the Muslim gonna look to get that second and central sacred site, decamping that left sacred site, but there is a outpost there. That relic will be taking out that Lancer pretty quickly. Just 3 hits and that Lancer will be going down. Oh, quite a few villagers going down here on the berries here by Wam, and he's going to lose quite a few villagers there. 3 Lancers just doing the trick there. Villagers going to be going down. 41 villagers to 56. That villager gap really starting to widen now. The Muslim looking strong on the villager count. Has also got the right sided sacred site, which is actually really favourable for him. As we said that on the spawn here. Lancer cycling through on the wood line as well. We can see the Muslim doing a great job in that, making sure that he keeps his opponent pinned in. A couple of, quite a few prelates there, hanging out on the wood line. Wow, I'm desperate to try and get those walls in, trying to keep those Lancers from doing too much damage. Trying to keep them in, pinned in, and make sure that those spearmen manage to get the chase. But this is what we see with the Lancers. The fact that they have this mobility means that they can just keep running around. There is a calm there as well. They're getting so much value from these Lancers. These Lancers at the back do get sniped though by these spearmen. The chase works for them. But again, there's so much idle time for the economy here. Lots of villages being garrisoned, up to 10. And counting. Villagers and gold going to be idle now as well, and this is the issue. Not able to keep up, and the thing is, Wam hasn't been able to keep army stationed in each part of the area of his base, and again losing the villagers, being sniped, getting so much value. It's unbelievable, these knights. And they keep coming forward now. Crossbowmen are making their way as well, and we see those massive amount of siege. 2 trebuchets and a mangonel in the center area of the map. The typical outpost span coming out as well for the defending of that army, slowly making that push. These 2 knights still chipping away, going to be taking out some of the villagers. Although the good thing about the Palace of Swabia will be that it will be printing villagers, but he's going to need those villagers because, have a look, he's going to be raided to death almost, it seems. Lots of lancers running in now. Village count 37 to 61. And Wam is in a tough spot, that's for sure. 44 military to 54. Wam 10 military behind. But that doesn't tell the full picture because there is siege on the field, and that's going to be doing a lot of damage. Trouble for Wam is that it's got lots of infantry, but there is a mangonel there, and Demuslim could double down with more mangonels. Going to lose that wood line, the front wood line. This has become a problem for Wam, that's for sure. We needed to keep here, really, ideally, to buy some time, but he's going to struggle for wood. Let's have this wood line here, which has been terrorized and taken apart by the lancers, and now the lancers do start to move forward with the crossbows and pine and mangonel and outpost and trebuchets. 3 of them. That looks like it's going to be a tough mountain to climb to stop this, and now there is the Imperial Age for Wam. But will that be enough? He'll be able to print those villagers and hopefully get the eco running up for him. But will he be able to hold this push? That is the question. It'll be tricky because there are outposts now. Getting these emplacements as well. Spring on emplacements, no doubt, as well. So that's going to be tough to push. He's going to need some trebuchets, some siege of his own. The issue is it's not just sieges going to need. It's going to need units. Monastery is going to be taken apart using the emergency repairs. Here are the lancers sweeping in, trying to get some raiding damage again. Keeps taking out villagers. 24 minutes on the clock. And Wam is on a timer. He needs to push this back and then somehow extend the game for as long as he can. Prelate's coming out to heal up all the villagers he can. Building up the army. Looks like Wam is almost saving up for one last final push. One last final fight. Let's just check. He's getting some upgrades. It's just mostly the spring replacements. Let's just check. Yeah, doesn't really have many upgrades coming in. Can't really afford too much here. Just a bit of food and a bit of gold in the bank. Another trebuchet. A lot of trebuchets coming out for Demuslim. He's going to be taking out these buildings despite the emergency repair function that the Holy Roman ever have. And again, here we are. The Lancers running a riot in the base. Spearmen on hand to try and defend, but again, they're just being pulled apart left, right, and centre. The Lancers still on the north, denying the hope of those berries, and here comes the outpost creep with the spring emplacements. And it's almost in a position where Wam can't fight, because if he does, he's going to have to fight underneath the spring emplacement towers, and that'll be a tough ask for anyone. It's going to be a strong push here. You get the feeling it's all building up to an end here, building up to one last massive fight. And you get the feeling that the Mongols here, producing so fast, 83 military on the field, getting the raiding bonus as well, picks up a lot of momentum. Lancers diving in and the villagers underneath the Palace of Swabia. Palace of Swabia has been doing some work to produce those villagers, but will it be enough? Doesn't seem so. Still isn't able to keep on par with the Mongols here, played by Demuslim. And the primary town centre is on fire, going to be going down very soon, and that was unable to be repaired. One landmark down, another 3 to go. And slowly, the army pushes in for Demuslim with the crossbows, with the lancers in front, and look at the idle eco being caused here. The villagers being pulled all the way back, and there's going to be a very, very idle economy here. Hardly any villagers on the food, on the farm. And there we are. The raiding bonuses going to be kicking in from the farms as well. Burger Palace going to be the next possible attack. The next building to be attacked. Lots of trebuchets there, slowly taking things out. There is one culverin. If that culverin goes down, you've got to feel like this is the end of the game. The culverin does get taken out. Maybe takes a trebuchet with it, but there are a lot more there behind, constantly firing off. Wham, under so much pressure. You get the feeling that Demuslim has sealed his ticket to golden, his golden ticket to the Redbull Wololo Legacy main event. Infantry trying to push in, but Demuslim doing great work with the kiting and the spring on the places on those towers. Going to be taking what's left of that infantry. Villagers running across the front line, trying to run away from the lancers. Let's see how far they get, and they don't get very far at all before Wam calls it. This game goes towards Demuslim. Demuslim wins the set 4-1. He is your champion, one of the 2 champions in the July finals for the Road to Redbull Wololo Legacy. It is Demuslim who will make it to Castle Heidelberg in Germany. But I'm sure in a future event we shall see Wam make his way there. The way he played was great, but Demuslim just managed to win and pip him to the post. Hope you guys enjoy this casted series, and if you did, do give the video a thumbs up. I'm looking to also cast the other final that happened, which was between Lucifron and 3DB. If you're interested in that, do check out the YouTube channel. It will probably be there. Take care and see you next time.